Okay. My big ass fucking mug of...
Two guys in a buzz.
What?
We're back. We got a special guest, yet again, for the third time. Gonna probably become Alec Baldwin of SNL. And just be on like 40-something times.
I don't keep up with this.
It's literally, he's been on there. Him and Steve Martin had a battle of who had been on there more times. And that was years ago. I believe he's been on there since. So 30 Rock and everything.
Well, hi everyone.
Annemarie.
Hello.
Which, Annemarie saw Misery for her first time.
Ooh, nice.
That's a pretty intense.
Dude, that movie is intense.
Yeah, we stayed up carving pumpkins, pulled like damn near an all-nighter.
Again,
What
that's
was-
our new tradition.
Yeah.
Oh, what is it?
Carving pumpkins, staying up all night watching horror movies, carving pumpkins.
You guys been doing this for the past couple years?
Yeah, last time we did it again.
Nice, that's
Yeah,
cool.
it's fun. We watched Evil Dead 28 weeks later.
I didn't actually watch any of those movies. I
Well,
was
we're
carving
carving.
pumpkins.
Yeah, you were carving.
John was not.
Yeah. Misery.
Yeah.
And we were gonna watch one, but you were like, don't put it on. I want to actually be able to
The
watch
Shining,
it.
that's my favorite horror movie.
Okay, so in the movie Misery, what did you really like about it? Like what part or what did you think of it?
Well, I liked that it was sort of unassuming at the beginning, like it wasn't super, I mean now I guess it's kind of formulaic, like Crazy Fan, but there was a lot of like just like good tense dialogue between them, and then those goddamn scenes where she like broke his ankles.
With the hammer,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
With the block in
Oh
between
my
the fucking...
God, that was
Hobbling.
and she was so matter of fact about it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
no warning,
Yeah.
no build up.
Dude, the first.
We can't have you leaving. I don't know what she exactly says. But we're gonna go ahead and break your feet.
When's the last time you watched it?
Oh, it's got to be 5-6 years ago.
Dude, the first hit of that, and
Yeah.
you literally see his foot just go
Yeah.
and fall over. I go, oh, and I pulled my bottle back, and I hit my front tooth, and like jerking away from it. And then Annemarie threw her water. Like,
Oh, it was terrible.
because she's just like, I love you so much. It's like crack.
And what did he say, right? He was like, well, let's be reasonable. Like, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, he had no
Annie.
idea what she
Annie.
Like, what are you doing, Annie? Oh.
What are you doing, Annie? Yeah, man. And then when he finally someone's picking. See, we got these Osag trees.
Osag.
Yeah, they're Osag orange trees or hedge apples. They drop those like bumpy apple orange looking things, and people freaking love them,
That's
dude.
insane.
They think they ward off spiders and other.
They do?
Which they say there's properties to it, like a lot of natural insect repellent is made with the oils from that fruit.
Yeah.
I think it's considered a fruit.
Not a melon.
No,
Well, with the
definitely not
fruit,
melon.
it has to have a seed inside, right?
Yeah,
That's
but
like,
melons are
I
fruit.
guess these, if you
right,
if
because
you
they have seeds inside.
yeah, right. But they say if you eat that stuff, it tastes like freaking house cleaner.
Oh.
Anyways, the oils are using a lot of natural bug repellents. I don't know what it is, but so it's got properties to it.
And what's it called? The
It's an Osag tree.
Osag tree.
Yeah, or more commonly known as a hedge apple tree.
I hate
Is it
spiders.
like
It's-
Asian or
it's-
something? Is it
I
native?
don't know. It's native. Yeah, it's native to the United States. It is the hardest wood in our region for sure. They use a lot of it to make like bows because of the flexibility and the strength of the wood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I burn wood here at the house for the winter. You can't put a full load of that wood in a furnace because it'll get too hot and start warping the metal structure of the furnace because of how dense it is. So you have to mix it in with other wood.
I wonder if the natives used it for something like that.
Oh, guaranteed.
Because I know, like,
they use it for bows.
I know. Well, yeah,
Like-
bows, but the river birch. You know how this kind of bark like peels up into this thin, almost like paper material.
Right.
They would pack that into their little pouches and hang on to it for fire starting.
Oh, makes sense. Yeah.
Because it light up so easily. So if that shit gets
Like I said,
really hot,
they
then
make
I
bows
wonder
out of
if
that,
they're
so I'm sure the
doing
Indians
the
are
same thing.
making bows out of it.
Yeah.
Or maybe fire pots.
Yeah.
Is it that hot?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Yeah, they would do. I'm sure they found resources for it.
Many possibilities.
Dude, those branches are a pain in the dick. Like, I trimmed some of the trees down. So, like, dragging branches, you ever drag some branches through the yard?
Yeah.
Okay, if you get a bunch of a pile, you can drag it pretty much no problem.
Oh, yeah.
It might be heavy, but you
You
drag it
want
pretty
the
easy.
fanned out ones on the bottom of the.
You try to drag a couple of those branches, the branches don't bend, and it's like the little branches that stick out from the bigger branches act like plows and literally dig out the grass as you're running it through the yard.
Oh my god.
That's some badass fucking tree. It's meant to be a wind blocker, is why people plant them now, to block from fields.
So this big
holidays.
tree right here that I can see, that's it?
This whole, that's one tree.
Wow.
That's a big one.
Wow.
The one to your right here through that window, that's another one. It
So one that looks like an apple tree?
No, sorry.
Is that
That is a miscellaneous tree that needs to be cut down. The one behind it.
Oh, I see with the big knob.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
You got some fern gully shit going on out
I
here.
know, dude. I fucking run those fucking Osaka things over with the lawnmower. It's like,
Like that golf ball.
ooh, someone run it over.
I hit some guy in the face with a golf ball.
You should have seen it. He had like a golf ball sizing lump.
And I love it. And he's like one of the coolest guys I work with, and I get along with him so well. He's 73 years old.
Oh
And I drive like a tractor, literally pulling a big mower deck, and
no. Okay.
and it's glide shift, so I don't have to constantly put in the clutch. I can just downshift it and throw it back up. So, and I usually watch for golf balls, and if I'm gonna hit them, I usually hit them with the front tires, let the back tires hit them, and try and mush them down, and then usually the mower goes right over it, no problem. Did not see this one.
Yeah.
And I was just listening to my music, just going, man. And then all of a sudden I saw that he had stopped working, and he was talking to another employee, and then he headed off to the shop, and I was like, what happened? He's like, you just hit him in the face with a golf ball. And I was like, oh, fuck. It felt terrible. And, I took a picture of it. Literally knocked him right in the jaw, like in the cheek.
That's got to be coming out at
And
like 200 mile an hour.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes, if it hits it right, and it must have.
Like a laser.
And he wasn't paying attention. It was just like bam. He said he saw like stars, and then
I
it
don't
was,
really think you can move even if you saw that thing coming out, you think?
his jaw was so tight, And so we went up to lunch,
Yeah.
and he didn't want to tell anybody he got hurt at work. So,
Drug test?
well, make a bigger deal out of it
Yeah.
too, insurance, everything. So,
Okay.
another employee at the clubhouse, we don't talk to them really, other than when we're having lunch or if they're out there golfing, the Rangers.
Is there a
or
divide
Cardinals.
there?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is. They get gift cards and like rewards for if they do work, and we gotta be there at like 5 in the morning every day, bust ass, and we don't get shit for it other than like, they don't even like say, thanks guys,
Yeah.
It's
Is there an
kinda
animosity there?
No, well, kind of on my side, just because
Yeah.
it's like I've been there for 5 years, man. But and you're still not you're gonna treat me for like the same as from day one.
Right.
That's like something's fucked up.
Yeah.
They haven't given you a raise or anything?
No. But yeah, there's whatever. I'm a full-time student too.
Sure.
So
You're doing things.
there's a brighter horizon.
Yeah.
But so he goes up there, right? And he's in the clubhouse, and a guy comes up to him and he's like, "What happened to your face?" And he's like, "Oh, I cut myself shaving." And did it with the straightest face ever. Then finished ordering a sandwich, And the guy was like, maybe you should change your razors. Because it was brutal. It was brutal. It was like literally there was like blood pus pocket thing like on his face.
Is he shaving his face with a machete?
Yeah.
But that's not your fault.
No, but
mean, you feel guilty. I hear
Yeah,
it. Totally
totally.
not your fault.
And then his nephew, who's like 19 and like
Okay,
you know, or
very
17.
aggressive or something?
Yeah, well, just like we were all that age.
Okay.
once.
Young and dumb.
Yeah, I'm full of cum.
Mm-hmm.
And so he starts working there, and like he was like, "This is the guy that hit you in the face with a gun."
Oh, Jesus. Really?
But it turned out, that you realize it was a total accident. But at first, I was just like, "Oh gosh."
I'm gonna position my tractor just so it hits this golf ball.
Yeah.
Just so that it just hits, shoots
it
out right at him.
Yeah.
Because you have that
Size
much
angle.
control over that. Jesus.
Well, plus how are you supposed to see a golf ball in the grass when the grass is overgrown?
Yeah, I mean, and even with that, I mean, like if you're running a tractor with 3 decks behind you, right? Is it 3 decks?
No, it's
You're not going to catch every golf ball and smush it into the ground.
Well, it's actually more than that. It's 5.
See, I mean, you can't. Even if you saw the golf ball, I'm sure you can't like really veer off and do like a zigzag pattern.
And it's pretty sick. Like you'd be amazed at like what I can maneuver that thing around. Because when you like turn something, you have a trailer, it kind of swings with you, right?
Yep.
And then when you cut out, it's gonna swing out.
Right.
But then you can like counter steer it and make it tuck back in real quick. And I just have gotten so well at that where I can just like maneuver around like trees
And keep
and
your line.
shit.
No,
because I don't have to keep my
No,
line.
I got
Just,
you.
like,
Yeah.
So it's like you just like swing it around like this little object real quick.
Yeah.
And it kicks it out.
Yeah. Nice.
Sick, and I'm listening to music. I'm just like flying. I get it done faster. We had somebody there that did it. His name, Bob. That's what it was. And he had one of those bright purple noses.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because he drank. Yeah, he drank all the time, and he would like pound. Those what are the Rossies or whatever, that big thing of wine you can get?
Ew, gross.
It's like real cheap
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
He'd like pound that, and his nose was like a big plum on his face.
Look like Bozo the Clown.
Yeah, and he would literally cut, and I found out what was happening the first day that I.
Sorry.
No, it really clicked in the second day I did it because everybody was so nervous about driving this tractor because it's so intimidating.
Right.
So I was just like one day, Jamie asked like, hey, you want to cut rough because Bob's not gonna be here. I'm firing him. And I was just like, yeah. I was like at the point in my life where I'm like, what am I afraid of?
Right.
Teach me something. So it's like I'll drive this fucking big ass tractor. And I love it.
Nice.
But Bob, he would like show up as we did in the morning, mow till lunch, have lunch.
Okay.
Then be like, I'll leave some for tomorrow. That was his like.
What?
Yeah, that was his like catchphrase.
So he
I'll
was-
leave some for tomorrow. But
He
I
was
found
trying
out-
to milk his job.
Well, yes, clearly, and he would come
Yeah.
in 3 days or something a week, and sometimes not even get the rough finished in that time. And so what I realized is the tractor runs out of gas, or it gets down pretty low by lunchtime. And then you eat, and then you're full, and then your tractor's out of gas, so now you gotta drive all the way back to the shop, fill up with gas, and drive all the way back to wherever you were
So
cutting.
he just didn't.
So just leave some for tomorrow. And I was like, that lazy.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he was smart.
I guess,
working
yeah,
it. He was
it's
working
job
it.
security, I suppose. Because now I do it, and I get it done in a day and a half or 2 days.
Yeah.
And everything's done.
Oh, okay.
And that's like all the main grass part you gotta hit.
Can you imagine drinking that hard that your nose swells up? It becomes all deformed.
Literally, it was like a plum.
Yeah, dude. You see them every once in a while. I think you see them a lot less than what you probably did 50 years ago. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see them every once in a while. It's like old men with just big, swollen, red, deformed looking fucking noses. Like, dude, you drink fucking hard. You're probably fucking wasted right now. I mean, I would imagine you're pretty much drunk all the time, every day.
Yeah.
To get a nose like that, you have to be.
Yeah. That's how you get a lot of shit, man. Gout.
From drinking?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about, though. It's like something with like older generations. Only they have it.
Yeah.
Deals. Like fingers that are like literally like sausages and like nails that have like those weird.
I'll tell you who's
things
getting
and,
it.
Dance in them.
our old, my old renter, Mike. I think he's starting to get, his nose was starting to get red and kind of big. And, I mean, he drank every day, but it was just beer. And he wasn't, well, I guess he'd be drunk every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day I'm so.
It's not good for your liver either.
No, you're destroyed. Just alcohol's actually like poison, and you're just putting that in you every day. I mean, it's all right on a
11 o'clock, fucking Sunday. It's okay.
Yeah.
So we saw Green Inferno.
Yeah.
You saw it?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh.
You didn't see it, but you told me a little bit.
You know.
So go ahead and tell the people out there.
I don't know. It's not even worth it.
It's not worth. Now, okay, is it not worth
It's not
it
worth it
to see it at all?
If you like Cannibal Holocaust, just enjoy Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah. Don't even fuck around with it.
Yeah. And I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but
If it's crap, why not just spoil it so people don't go see it?
it takes 40 minutes at least to get even to cannibals.
That's terrible.
And the acting's not good.
And the storyline is just, okay, a woman wants to become an activist. And in class, okay, so we're supposed to be led to believe that, I believe that this is the story. She was in this class, she saw that there's,
She had a crush on that guy.
well, she had a crush on the guy, but also she cared about female genital mutilation being done. And she's looking out her window in her dorm with her annoying, like, heroin addict roommate.
Okay.
That's laying in bed with some guy, and then, or her boyfriend, and then, so there's these activists out in this courtyard of the college campus.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know, in a gaze at one of the guys, the leaders. And so she is invited to one of their meetings by a guy that has a crush on her. And then
This is already This is already
so what happens is they find out that her dad is part of the United Nations, like he works for them.
Okay.
So yeah, so okay.
Okay.
And so they can use her as like a pawn in their game for their activism of this like
She's a
rainforest getting cut
valuable
down.
person.
All right.
Valuable,
So
yeah.
if they put her in the
Right.
spotlight, then whoever does any harm or like, you know, were to like try and silence her would get international attention.
Okay. All right.
But it's,
So yeah, so they set her up pretty much when they do this rainforest thing for publicity. And then come to find out, you know, they're in this plane, and you know, she feels double crossed and everything. And
I feel like you are not doing a good job.
I am not. I don't know why.
This doesn't make any sense at all.
This sounds terrible.
Yeah.
It was convoluted, to be fair. It wasn't easy to keep track of. Like,
Oh,
there was
really?
because there was no thread. Like at the beginning, you have no idea. Like you know they're gonna end up in the rainforest, but there's no like you don't have any like clear trajectory of like
That they're getting there.
her passion or her intention. Like she's in a class, she learns about female genital mutilation. She's like, oh, this is awful. I want to do something about it. She goes to like her rich, like namby-pamby dad and is like, fix this, daddy. And he's like, it's not that simple, honey. And so then she's like, well, I'm gonna do something on my own. She goes to like the activist group. She has a crush on the main guy. He like makes eyes at her, finds out who he is, and he's like, hey, you want to go to South America? It'll be awesome. And so he gets her to go. They all go. They get there. They do this thing. They find out that he's in cahoots with the business that they were trying to stop from destroying the rainforest. And the whole idea is he was going to stop this company from destroying the rainforest so that a competing company can come in and destroy the rainforest in order to put his environmental movement on the map. And once they're on the map, then they can do good things. First you gotta help the man, and then you do good things. And he's like, everything's connected, don't you know? And then like, it's terrible.
Right.
She did.
So-
First
Oh,
off,
fuck
I'm
this!
gonna
I
tear
am
it
like, that's why I love this
She
show.
did way better at explaining that.
Yeah. Okay, so plane goes down.
All right.
Plane goes
They're
down.
flying away from the site where they
Right.
did it, and they're trying to just get home.
So they're getting the fuck out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. plane goes down. I can't even really remember what happened. Okay, the
You
wreck.
want Annemarie to explain it again?
Yes, the wreck is actually, and that's when it actually gets okay.
Yeah.
It's something happens,
Okay.
rather, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, you've got some deaths happening now.
Okay.
You know, which, now we got Eli Roth kind of shining with his group.
But we're already
yes,
40,
and-
45 minutes.
Yes, and which is terrible. Plain Jane acting.
Right.
Dude, are you serious about this movement? Are you?
Okay.
You know, it's come on.
Back it up.
You can make a difference. Thought you were
Yeah, I think his
Are you
accent was
Mexican?
fake.
That's what this guy talks
He
like.
kept making South. He was supposed to be one of those like vaguely South American, non-white, scary people.
Yeah.
Like they go to college and they seem smarter than everybody else, and like everybody thinks they're cool because they have an accent. But I think he was a fake. I think he was just some white guy putting on a fake
Oh, I'm
accent.
sure.
So I don't know, but he like was totally nonchalant through the whole thing. So he was like, "Oh, the other company will be coming in a couple of days. They'll save us. Like they're going to destroy this village no matter what."
Yeah.
Like, and then of course nothing works out well.
They get eaten?
I think most of them do.
Yeah, yeah.
All except her.
I think you can have 5.
Okay.
Out of this whole group, you end up with like 5 people now in the camp.
Okay.
You know, the plane wreck takes out some.
I'm not watching this movie.
Yeah, it was.
If you do watch
It's not worth
it, fast forward to the plane,
Yeah.
and then there you go.
Yeah, because you're not going to
Okay.
miss any.
Because I'll tell you what,
Time.
the first dude they lay down
Cheers.
to take out,
Cheers.
she literally walked out of the theater to go get popcorn.
Oh, really? Said I'm not gonna miss none. I'm gonna go ahead and just get out. Have you ever walked out of a movie?
Yeah.
We actually talked about this. They brought Fantasia back to the theater,
Oh.
and my dad took me to see it because I was like, Fantasia, you know, Mickey Mouse, cool.
Right?
And so he took me to see it, and we were sitting in the theater, and like it was like I didn't understand what was happening because I never knew that it was a musical.
Okay.
Or it's just all music and it's just, you know, cartoons and different stories.
Right.
So I had no idea, and it was like kind of blowing me away.
Yeah.
And then it got to this,
Fantasia is a good movie.
and it got to this
Especially
point
for
where
kids.
the mushrooms come out or whatever, start
Ooh.
dancing and spinning, and my dad just like went over and like patted on me, and he's like, "Let's get out of here." And he's like, "I'm not watching that." Like,
We're taking it over.
So I remember that, walking out of that, and I remember walking out of 10 Things I Hate About You to sneak into Half Baked.
Oh,
I liked it.
okay.
I hated about you.
Why did you have to go see that movie and sneak out to go
Because
see
we
another
were
one?
with a friend whose parents were really like just
Real strict on
Yeah,
that, on
and-
the content that they
and-
watch.
yeah, and so like his dad would literally be like, "I have physical evidence you've been masturbating."
Oh my god.
What? What is he like taking DNA out of fucking tissues
No.
out of the wastebasket or something?
But this is like literally like the thing he would say. So we had to lie, say we were going to 10 Things I Hate.
Jesus,
Like,
wait.
but we were in there. He's like, "I like this movie," and I was like, "Dude, Half Baked is going on." Like, where I go
I like
to
10 Things I Hate About You. I guess it is a chick flick, to be fair.
Oh yeah, right, for
Yeah.
sure.
Definitely.
And if you have 2 movies to pick out of, I'm picking Half Baked.
Yeah, and it was
Every
right at the
single
beginning. We
time.
got to see the whole thing.
Oh, that's cool.
So we
Yeah.
had to buy the tickets literally in front of his mom.
Okay,
And get
okay.
those. And then it was kind of like the other friend, because there were 3 of us. We were talking about, well, let's go. And
Now, how deep did you research? Did you know, like, okay, this movie's playing this time, and Half Baked's gonna be going on in a half an hour.
Yeah.
So we got 20 minutes
We
to like
called,
sit
yeah.
here before we
It was
make
like,
the
yeah, we
movie.
can watch. I think we got to the point where Heath Ledger is singing
Okay.
in the field or in the
That's
stands.
actually pretty far in.
I know. And I was like, dude, when does it fucking start, man?
We gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You know.
Way to go, Dad, to make a fucking kid feel bad about masturbating, though.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
Physical evidence that you've been masturbating.
So what?
Yeah.
Jesus.
You just caught me in between them.
Caught me between my 11 and 1 o'clock sessions.
Gore, good. I would say Gore is pretty good
Okay.
in Green Inferno. Remember the impalements of the women, or the woman in Cannibal Holocaust?
Yep.
through the vagina, out the
Oh,
mouth.
God,
rough.
do we have
Yep.
to talk about that?
Yep.
They don't do that.
We do gotta talk about
Yeah.
this. This is important.
They don't
stuff.
do that in the movie. Instead, it's like this, just like the pole's in them, but you don't know how, or it's like in their clothes because they're still clothed.
Oh, really?
So just like Cannibal Holocaust was just so awesome, and it's like one of the first found footage films.
Right.
Because it's another group of people watching the footage that they found of
Where
these
they
people.
cut that
Turtle, and that was very controversial.
Well,
That
it's
was
a real turtle. But you could get away with it back then.
In the
You can't
70s, yeah.
There's so much you can get away with back then that nowadays is really hard to get away with.
That's why they did grindhouse movies in the Philippines.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
less regulation.
And they could
Right.
actually get the military to help them. So you had like
Oh, what?
military and shit acting in your like grindhouse.
That's cool.
But then it caught on when Texas Chainsaw Massacre was born, you know?
Okay.
Changed everything.
Fucking A. Oh yeah, they did do that in the Philippines, that's right. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. I want to walk out on a movie. I've never walked out on
Never?
a movie. And I should. There's at least a couple that I should have walked out on, but for whatever reason I just haven't. I feel like I paid and I'm gonna fucking sit here,
Yeah.
but I should fucking walk out on a fucking movie when they're crap.
Yeah.
But you know, I tend to not even go to the movies nowadays unless it's fucking something that I really want to see. I just don't
I
go.
love going to movies.
I love going to movies too, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Unless I know I'm gonna love it, or have been really anticipating, I just don't go see like what was the last movie that I went to go see that was iffy was. Oh, it was a horror movie. Shit. Devil's something.
Devil's Rejects.
No, that movie's good. No, I can't remember. I'm not going to remember. Eileen would know. But it was not good. It was not good. It was PG-13. Should have known right off the bat that it wasn't going to be good. And we went just off a whim because we, were bored. And it sucked. It sucks paying for something like that, especially movie tickets being expensive as they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, movie tickets have gotten really expensive.
We go during the daytime, then we still have our night.
No,
Of course,
that's-
we have to
that's what we
spend
try to do.
$20 in popcorn because that's the main reason.
Yeah, $20 in popcorn
I
and
hear
30
you.
minutes.
I hear you.
It's
You
a lot.
don't even eat the popcorn though,
I
right?
do, I snack on it. And she kind of pulls it away from me.
Yeah.
It's
I'll
because
eat
you
the
don't
whole-
just eat it, you take giant handfuls and like,
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
how you eat
You know-
popcorn.
you eat.
That's not how, you know how I eat popcorn? Eileen does that. She takes small scoops and she'll pick at it.
Yeah,
But
that's
because
what
I
I do,
hold
but
the
you
bucket.
eat individual scoops at a time, or individual kernels.
That's what I do, right? But I eat like fast. I might as well
Oh,
just
yeah.
just take a whole handful and just shove it in my mouth.
Yeah.
Because I'm probably consume the same amount with the speed that I'm throwing them in my mouth.
That's awesome.
You make your hand into like a shovel and then you just like.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of the buttered popcorn at the top is gone. into
My
a soup.
glasses are all sprayed with butter. I can't see through them.
You know what we do for you like salt the popcorn real good? We'll fucking fill up a napkin full of salt and then twist that up and put it in, just carry it in, so that when you get down a layer and it stops being salty, sprinkle more salt on it, motherfucker.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, Eileen knew that. Her dad taught her that.
Wow. Now you taught
A
us.
best son.
And we're teaching all the world. It's great though, dude. Salty popcorn all the way to the bottom.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
I went down on Twilight. 'Cause if I
Good.
could get me to go see that. I tried to read that book and it was so goddamn sexist and awful. Like
The
how-
book was?
Yeah, I mean, well, like the whole Twilight premise is like a classic abusive relationship, which has been glorified into this true love thing, and then fed to these prepubescent children.
How is it? I've never read the book, so I have no idea. How is it?
He
Abusive
is, by definition, like 1,000 times more important and powerful than she is.
Okay.
And so her position is to basically worship him and offer him her life so that he can change her and make her into an important person.
Okay.
And so he gets upset and like leaves her, and she's supposed to just wait around for him. And like it's a test of his, that if she'll just wait around for him and like pine after
That
him
she'll
after he's
earn.
after he's walked out on her and like told her nothing about what's going on,
Yeah.
she's supposed to just do that. And if she does, then it gives her value as a person. It's some fucked up shit.
Team
And
Jacob.
it's-
You're gonna have probably some haters fucking
Oh,
getting
I
mad.
know,
How
I'm sorry,
dare you
but, like,
talk this way about Twilight?
Twilight is bullshit.
No, that was a controversy brought up when it came out.
The
Was
woman
it?
who
Oh, yeah.
wrote it is just
Movie, yeah.
glorifying abusive relationships. Like, yes, abusive relationships happen, and women are prone to them.
Right?
Men and women have both been programmed to get into those relationships and think they're hot.
Mm.
But you don't need to be feeding it to little girls and telling them that, like, what you want to find is your own fucking Edward. Like some gorgeous guy who treats you like shit and makes you feel like you're nothing unless you're associated with him.
But
That's
wasn't
not
Jacob supposed to be like the good guy that was trying to win her over?
I
Team
think
Jacob.
so.
Team Jacob.
I think so, but I'm not
What?
sure because I didn't get that far. I
Oh,
tried to
okay.
read some of it and I just became so outraged that I felt like it was going to affect my
But
blood
Jacob
pressure.
was just like I think as demanding and
Was-
jealous.
Was
so,
he needy too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. He's a freaking Native American that turns into a werewolf. How can he not be
That's
needy?
pretty sweet though. I feel like werewolves are not needy in the emotional support.
You don't think so?
No.
They need human flesh.
Yeah, but not love.
They want to be petted.
No, they don't.
Scratch
Oh,
behind the
they
ears?
eat
Yeah.
flesh until they're human again.
Not those werewolves. Those werewolves don't get to eat people.
Oh, really? Did I-
Because they can go back to being people in regular. Right? Because they don't go. Those werewolves in those movies don't get the animalistic instinct to kill.
They control themselves. Yeah,
Right.
they just turn into big dogs.
Yeah, right.
Wait,
right.
so they're
Well,
not
they turn
even
into
dangerous
wolves.
werewolves?
They turn into wolves
Yeah.
instead of werewolves.
It's more of a
But they're-
metamorphosis
Oh.
process.
Yeah. They don't stand upright. They don't have gigantic claws. They don't
Yeah,
have like
like the big
humanoid
furry
looking body.
back and like the.
They're just big wolves.
Oh.
Yeah.
I guess that's
But
better.
but you know they're not even real vampires because they like glitter in the sun and
Dude,
fucking.
everybody knows that's what vampires do. Anyway, that's anyway.
Yeah.
Vampires been glittering since gold.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Twilight. It's unfortunate that it's such a fabulous, huge hit and like a cultural icon now because I mean.
Well, what about Hunger Games? Because there's a strong female
Yeah, that's
lead in
good.
it, you
I
know?
think that one's good because at the very least, she's like.
But
you
there's
know,
like
She's
a
very
love story.
independent in that.
Yeah, and
in
she's
those
like
books,
doing
those
something
books.
cool, and she sticks to her own values throughout the thing.
And she's conflicted, and she has to go back and forth between peace and wanting protection for their family and fighting for a cause.
Exactly.
Yeah, that stories are pretty good. I like those books.
John won't watch the movies with me.
You won't watch Hunger Games?
I-
They're not nowhere near, not even close to as good as the books.
Yeah, I mean,
I've heard that. I need to take time.
they
Yeah,
could-
they're not. The books are amazing. The books are great. I loved every single one of them. Yeah, I liked every single. The second one was just like, it was all right. The third one was great. The first one was fucking awesome. And the movies just don't do them any kind of sort of justice whatsoever.
I like Jennifer Lawrence. I feel like she's a good actor. Like she's a good person
Oh,
to
yeah.
play that kind of character.
Yeah.
'Cause she's, I think in real life, she's kind of a tomboy like that.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know what the right word, eccentric or whatever, but like, she seems.
Somebody hacked her cloud drive and released her nudes. That's all I know.
I heard
She
there's.
takes some good nudes.
Yeah. She's got her positions
She
now.
takes good nudes.
There's leaked photos. I don't know if it's really leaked, but fucking of Justin Bieber's wang.
Oh yeah. Oh, believe me, that was asterisk mark.
Gotta talk about the Bieber's wang.
So
I heard he's packing a pretty good
well,
piece.
you didn't see it? The
No.
photo? Oh man, you
No.
gotta look this shit
Should
up.
I need to Google it right now? Justin Bieber's wang.
You'll probably find censored maybe on there.
Oh really?
Maybe you'll find uncensored. Who knows?
I heard it's.
No,
I heard it's pretty.
No, it's probably as long as his pant.
So he's like,
He's rocking a
average.
piece.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
average.
average is actually 5.5 inches.
What is this,
Right.
6 inches?
That's like 3, maybe 3.5.
That's 3.
No, that's
I'd say like
4.
5, 6.
What?
Yeah, because what, this paper's what, 8.5 by 11.
Okay.
So if it's 11, we're looking at 5.5.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. Justin Bieber.
So
This is inadequate in my mind.
Do you think I haven't?
No,
I
it's-
heard he went out with a good. I haven't seen it in the pictures, but I heard he like stood on a balcony.
well, he was on a balcony and there's like a tub there, a hot tub or whatever, and he's with his model girlfriend that he picked up because he compared her to Jasmine, Princess Jasmine.
Okay.
I saw that on TMZ.
Is she like Jasmine?
She has dark hair,
She has
And she's a model.
Jasmine?
I don't know if it's jasmine hair. She definitely does not have a tiger. But apparently they have a hot tub on their deck.
That sounds
And he
fun.
was skinny dipping in there. And that's where somebody across the way, these paparazzi fuckers, were like somewhere across, you know, zoomed in with whatever lens to get these pictures, you know, because they're totally, who knows, a helicopter dropped them down. We finally have his penis. The girls are like, I mean, the comments, they were like, I've been waiting years for this. And then somebody said, oh, I piped that up.
I pipe that up.
Yeah.
The
What does
fuck
that
is
I
mean?
don't
that?
know.
Is it the new lingo?
Yeah, pipe it up. Pipe is.
Pipe it up.
Pipe
It's
is
like it's
Like
like
pipe?
smoking.
She
They
like
want to smoke his
smokes
pipe.
the
Yeah.
There you go.
Puff on it.
Yeah.
Want to smoke his pipe.
Give it a couple
And then
of
somebody was
puffs.
like, I play that flute. No, I just made that one up. It's like Mozart.
Oh man.
Ew. Just.
Justin Bieber. You talk about a kid that's got it made, and does whatever the fuck he wants.
Oh, whatever. He makes people that he has sex with sign a non-disclosure agreement.
That's a good idea. When you got that kind of money.
So
Well,
what?
plus if you're as dislikable as he is, I feel like there are
Yeah.
people who would definitely sleep with him just purely out of spite.
For sure, and also to fucking claim any kind of false, like rape or anything,
Right,
anything.
yeah.
You're just protecting your own self.
Because somebody
It's-
did speak about it.
It happens to
And
a
apparently
sports
he
player. It
has-
happens to any kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
apparently he
Yeah.
has the girl have sex with his homies too.
Damn.
So, yeah.
Just to prove that she's like a huge slut.
Just to like probably dominance thing.
Yeah. Just
Who
to
would
do-
agree
do-
to that?
Well, I don't
Who
know.
in their
A
right
lot-
mind would ever agree
You're
to
looking
such
at
a
it in the
bunch
wrong.
of
You're
guys?
looking at it as in your own self, right? You're not looking at it as the rest of these dumb teenage girls that just turned 18, 19 years old and find him super attractive and love his like bad boy stance now.
But he's not a bad boy. He's like
He's not in
clearly like a puffed up
in reality. He's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, in reality, he's not a bad boy.
Like a
But
caricature.
look at him. He's all tattooed up.
Yeah, he's
He blows his fans off now. So girls want what they can't have. So if they can get his attention, it's like, oh, he just wants my attention. He fuck all these other bitches. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
I just feel like as soon as, like, just from a human being perspective, like, let's
Okay.
say you meet Eileen and you're like, you are so fabulous, and she's like, but you have to sleep with my 5 other friends. Like, wouldn't that strike you as weird?
I'd be like, this is my lucky day.
Oh, man.
Just missed it. Oh, man. All right.
Oh, thank
Beer
you so
delivery.
much. Woo! Spoon us.
She'll hear that when she listens to the podcast.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like that would immediately be
And-
such a
But I gotta say,
huge turn
I'm
on.
just joking.
JK.
I'm absolutely just joking.
No, but that's the whole thing is that you forget that 5.5 inches is the norm.
Yeah, yeah. But with penises are so different. Okay, so you got 5.5 inches is the norm, right? But then you got skinny little
Right.
pencil penises, and then
Is
you
it
got
correct to think
fat.
that girth is the main?
I don't know.
No. If it's not long enough, you're fucked. Now,
What's
We
up?
should
Need some air in
probably
there?
ask
Oh, bring
Eileen.
some in here.
Yes, definitely.
Babe, we need another woman's opinion.
yes.
Okay, so we're talking about penises and penis size in relation to what women might like.
Is there a
Oh my
camera right
gosh,
there?
this
There's
looks
a camera
amazing.
behind you.
Um,
Ooh,
Wow.
beautiful. Thank you.
oh, good.
So does it come
thank you
down
so
to
much.
length or girth? Like, could you
Like,
have
what's
a
more
s-
important in a woman's mind?
I don't think either.
I think
No.
you gotta have a good combination.
Yeah, I think you just need to know what to do.
What? So you stand where it's more of the motion in the ocean than the size of the boat.
Yeah.
It's the
But if
magic
the
in the
boat
wand.
is just too small.
Yeah, what is too small? We're saying 'cause the average penis is 5.5 inches.
What's that?
That's like this pin,
Yeah.
roughly. Maybe give or take. Probably give a little bit, but roughly that's about 5.5.
If you're at 5.5, I think you're okay. It's just if you're below that you're.
But you couldn't have this pin, you'd want girth. Right?
Well, yeah.
That would be stabbing. Yeah. It's a little skinny pencil.
But let's take into account, does it also take into account the woman? And because not all women's vaginas are created equal.
That's true.
Right.
So does it take the perfect fit of a man to a woman to make that perfect connection in relation? You're right?
Yeah, you're probably right.
You don't want it too small. Yeah. I guess you wouldn't want it too fat.
Well, yeah, if it was
Like
too big, it would
this.
just
No,
never
it's like an
What would you
intuition.
even do? If it was if it's too big, you're just screwed because there's nothing you can do. Where it's small, you can work on it and work on your
It's
technique. But if it's too big,
I
it's
imagine
not going in.
if you're small, you should probably work on your foreplay game.
Oh, yes. Yes. Get to know the little guy in the
That's
boat.
small, yeah.
Work on your foreplay game. They make penis extenders for people with
Thank you,
small
Eileen.
Thanks,
Thank
babe.
you.
penis extenders for guys with small dicks. That it's actually a dildo that goes over their dick.
Oh, and then it jacks them off while they're...
No. I don't know. They might. I don't. But
I get some kind of stimulation.
I think at this point you're just more worried about your lady, and you just want to try and get her off because your dick's too small to even do anything for her. You know,
That would be rough, but it is.
that would be really
There's
rough.
a lot you can do without penetration for a woman to please a woman.
Right, I mean,
If you
lesbians
know
do
what
it,
you
right?
do.
Yeah, it's the truth. But they also use fucking dildos and strap-ons.
But not all, though. They get into fisting, too.
Oh, fisting.
Which, can we just clarify for a moment? Fisting is not just punching a woman.
No, that's not. Yeah. Just to clarify, you're not just punching, using the vagina as a punching bag. No.
Yeah, no. It just means all four knuckles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're sliding on a pair of brass knuckles.
Alright, I think that we have run this conversation's course.
Okay.
Good luck, guys out there with micro penises.
So Rob Zombie went to this show. He's supposed to play at this show, this venue. And so he's hanging out, apparently backstage or outside. And he, of course, has dreadlocks.
He's backstage.
Yeah, okay, backstage. And cops come up to remove him.
Why?
Because they thought he was a homeless man that had somehow gotten back there. And
Well, someone was complaining about a homeless guy.
right. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so my notes are kind of vague here. And so he was saying the entire time they were escorting him out that I'm zombie. And the cops were quoted saying, yeah, this isn't Walking Dead, buddy. And he was just trying to say I'm zombie, Rob Zombie.
Like
But-
I'm the one who's supposed to be playing. Oh,
Yeah, but apparently he was really cool about the whole thing.
Well,
And
yeah, he gets thrown out.
yeah, they actually take him into their custody.
Security threw him out. Threw him outside. It was security, it wasn't cops. Right? So, he gets thrown out. And then it's time for him to go on to the show. And whoever's running the venue, I don't know how it works, but is running backstage saying, "Where's Zombie? Where's Zombie?" Holy tortilla. Sorry.
Yeah, they can't find
Where's Zombie? Where's Zombie? And that's when the security guards were like, "Oh fuck,
Yeah.
oh fuck," and told him what happened, and they brought him back out. And he's like, "Just because I smell of booze and cigarettes and kind of look homeless at times does not mean I am homeless.
Yeah.
I'm a homeless bum." That is hilarious, though.
Yeah, it was funny, I thought.
Because if you don't know who Rob Zombie is,
You're an idiot.
well, okay. Yeah. But if you don't know who Rob Zombie is, let's just say you listen to country music and that's all you listen to, okay? And you work in security at a venue and someone
You
says,
gotta see movies sometimes.
this homeless guy, yeah, but he's barely moved. Anyway, you look at Rob Zombie, and depending on how he's dressed, you could easily think he's some homeless bum.
Yeah, that is true.
Easily.
Same thing happened to Bob Dylan.
Really?
Arrived in town a couple hours early for his show. Was walking around outside the venue
Mm-hmm.
and got arrested for loitering. And he like tried to explain to them who he was, and they were like, wait, really? And like they had no idea who Bob Dylan was. He was a young cop.
Yeah.
And
God,
apparently
shame
he
for
was
him.
also really
Shame on his parents for not teaching him who the fuck Bob Dylan is.
I didn't think he'd recognize him. I mean, especially since he's like pretty regularly in the news, I feel like. I mean, he consistently is kind of.
Not so much anymore.
Yeah, even in my Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
He's always been on so, and he was
But
just
you gotta be
recently.
into music for.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
You
You
know-
have to genuinely be into music.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think that's like a lot of people probably don't know older, I don't know, like a younger generation that comes over to just country and listens to country. You're gonna lose out on so
Or
much
anything.
knowledge of music.
I
and
worked with a
fun.
guy, and on the radio it was Another Brick in the Wall Part 2.
Okay.
Which is like, yeah, okay, I've heard it a million times, it's Pink Floyd.
Right.
And he was like, who is this?
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
But Pink Floyd is so easily identified by their style too.
Yeah, easily.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, he's never listened to Pink Floyd.
Well, yeah, but that's a shame though, because they're such like pioneers in what they did. They just did it in their own way, where no one else they can try to replicate it, but it's never gonna be Pink Floyd or The Doors.
I just forget, like, I know all that stuff.
Yeah,
I love music so much, I like know everything, or try to.
right.
And to meet people that you don't even know, like the classics. Yeah. It's,
And people are missing out. You're missing out. You're only doing a disservice to yourself.
yeah.
You know. But this is the issue too with that. I think maybe is that like, okay, so this guy didn't know who Pink Floyd was, right?
Mm.
Did he ask who Pink Floyd was and like want to know who the band was, or was he just like, nah, I'm good? See, cause that's it's one thing to not know, and but then still take
And
like
want
the
to
interest
find
and be
out,
like, hey,
yeah.
that's cool. I've never heard of that. It's fucking interesting. And then that just open up doors.
Right.
That'll just open.
Yeah, totally, because that's the point where, you know, it's like I had to learn it somehow too.
Sure.
You know, and sometimes people just don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes I guess you expect people to know what you know. Thus far you can like communicate with them easier, or like on the same level, but you forget like it's kind of.
Yeah. Well, when you're talking about like Pink Floyd, that seems like it should be common ground for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the fact that he doesn't know is just like, you know, I can open up some doors for you, man. Tell you about whatever bands and start listening to
Their
their
old,
stuff. Open up your
older,
mind.
trippier stuff, you know. So yeah, Justin Bieber has a penis, and Rob Zombie is homeless looking. Well, he had dreadlocks too.
Yeah, he's got
Probably
fucking
does it.
big ass
Yeah.
dreadlocks.
I wonder if they're clean.
Oh, sure, they're clean. He's fucking rich. Why would you? I guess you can be dirty and rich, but why would you want to?
Well, in pictures, do they look neat? Because that's a good indicator.
They don't look that neat.
Yeah.
He does look homeless.
He does reek of booze and
Motherfucker does look homeless.
I had dreadlocks for many years, and nobody ever thought I was homeless.
You had dreadlocks?
Oh, yeah.
Oh shit.
real long too.
Like full on dreadlocks.
Oh yeah, like down to here.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone that don't know, she's talking about hip. All the way down her hips.
Mm-hmm.
That's some fucking dreadlocks. Now, how did you have to shave to get them all off, or was it like
So-
serious combing?
There was some serious combing. It took me 2 months, about 2 hours a day, with my head upside down in a bucket. I combed it all out.
Fuck.
And it actually looked really cool because like during the stages of combing out, I had like dreadlock at the top and hair at the bottom. And so especially towards the end, I had this like post-apocalyptic like dread at the top, hair at the bottom.
Like the world's just ended,
futuristic.
showers
Yeah.
don't exist no more, and I'm
It's so
starting to
awesome.
dread.
Yeah, so that was
I guess in a post-apocalyptic world with no shower stuff, you would end up dreading out, right?
well, so the thing is,
Well, Indians.
oil makes your hair slippery. And
True.
so clean hair, well, is twisted, and the twists of the hair all twist around each other to
Yeah.
make a dread.
Right.
For white hair, you have to like nat it up
You have to
and
force.
then knit it in with like,
Oh.
because I used a tiny crochet hook as well as like actually tangling it
Yeah.
to make it into like nice dreads.
Yeah.
And that was not natural at all. If I had not kept it clean, I would have had like the typical white person dreadlocks with like big ass long hair,
Oh.
fuzzes everywhere, where you look really dirty.
Yeah.
And I really wanted mine to be nice.
Nice, yeah,
so
sure.
I worked on them. That was the most time I've ever spent on my hair.
No
my
shit.
whole life. More than curling it every day. Because I would have to use like a tiny little crochet hook to like loop it all in every
No
time. It was ridiculous.
shit.
It was terrible. I mean, it looked great
So,
once it was done, but it was probably
White people hair won't naturally dread.
It's the curl, I think.
You have, yeah, right.
You have to have not just like curls, like ringlet
You
curls
have to
are nice,
tight
but
curls.
tight ringlet curls, like
Mm.
little tiny, like this big tight ringlet curls.
Right.
So
You have to have fro hair,
yeah, exactly.
like really tight fro hair.
Otherwise, you have to make it dread, because otherwise it's not gonna do it.
No shit.
So I don't know, but I think because I kept them neat,
Yeah.
I was sort of like an in-between, like I didn't really fit into either category, because obviously like black women with dreads have like tiny little beautiful, neat, perfect dreads, and
Yes.
mine weren't there.
Okay.
But white women with dreads have like nasty,
Big,
so,
blobby
like,
looking
yeah, like where
fucking-
there's like it was like your dread just ate a rat, and
Yeah.
there's there.
Oh, so gross.
Yeah, and that didn't, like, mine weren't like that, and so I was like in between,
Right.
but there's still, like, I remember sitting on street corners, like,
Yeah.
waiting for, like, the light to change or something, and somebody from behind me, you don't identify yourself, you don't introduce yourself, you don't say anything, you just be touching me.
What?
Like, touching my hair, and I would, like, turn around and be like, what, like, can I help you?
Yeah.
What are you doing touching my hair?
Doing?
Because I was really paranoid about it. When you have dreadlocks, you don't lose hairs. Like most people shed hair.
Right.
You don't lose hairs with dreadlocks. They all stay in there.
Right.
Anything that touches your hair and sticks to it, and when it's all like ratted up, things stick to it better, stays in there too. So I wouldn't lay in the grass. I didn't put my hair up against trees. I wore a hat most
Very
of the
conscious
time.
of it. Huh?
Yeah, and so then when people would come up and touch my hairs, and I turn around, and it's some like nasty, creepy white guy with
Whoa.
like disgusting dreads who probably has lice. It would be like, "Get the fuck out of my hair. Like you touch me again, then I'll flip out.
Yeah.
Like because they just assume that because you have dreads, you have this like alternative set of boundaries.
Oh,
which
right,
is
like it's a cheap thing.
Yeah,
It's
like
a cheap.
yeah, like
It's a
everything
dread
is
thing.
custom, so you're fine with everything.
Oh, right.
But I didn't ever get home with them. I think it's because they were well kept.
Yeah.
But it depends.
Well, a lot of
think
people, I think they put that beeswax or whatever.
that's what fucks you.
It does.
It attracts dirt. I mean, think about anything waxy. After like 2 days, it gets dusty and crusted over. And that's why you keep your candles covered. And if you have sticky wax of some sort, like hair glue, you always keep it closed. Because otherwise it'll just attract dirt. And with dreads, it'll attract all the lint from your clothes. If you wear anything woolly, it'll have like wool lint in it. It'll have hair, it'll have like air dust in it. It was disgusting. So, there's a lot of work. That neatly.
Dude, did you hear about the U.S. bombing this fucking hospital?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
You guys hear about that?
Mhm.
They fucking, they're paying the families now that they killed.
Mhm.
But I guess what it was a U.S., what was this, an AC-130 gunship bombed this hospital, thinking that what they were going after was, they were going on behalf of Afghani forces that were being attacked by the Taliban. And how they fucked up, I don't know. I didn't read that part, but I don't think they even know because they're still doing the investigation on it. But they bombed this hospital that was ran by Doctors Without Borders, the humanitarian aid group, and it killed 22 and wounded 37 people. That's a huge fuck up.
You know what?
That is fucking
You know what's so ridiculous about it is it's not the only fuck up. It's one that's been highlighted, and they're probably like, "Fuck, we've been." But this shit happens all the time.
But this is, and you're right. You're absolutely right. There's civilian,
collateral damage.
But this is why it's getting highlighted so much is because this one is the biggest civilian casualty over there since this whole war conflict began, when we bombed the fucking shit out of Iraq. But no, you're right. It happens all the time. Drone strikes, constantly killing.
But it's like 4, maybe 5, 12 innocents.
Yes, you're bombing
that's a big number.
A family's house. Right. But this is taking huge notoriety because first off, it's a hospital. Second off, it's Doctors Without Borders. So these doctors from all over the world are going over there. Like I don't even know if they get paid, but they're going over there just to help out.
And they're probably badass doctors too that we just lost.
And then they got just fucking killed on top of people that were there, wounded probably from maybe other fucking drone strikes or whatever. Who else? Who knows? You know, I don't know. When does it end? How do you stop it? I mean, it's a sad situation.
Apparently, for the ISIS crisis.
Okay.
Not to go Dr. Seuss or anything. Apparently they asked Russia for help. And
who asked? ISIS?
No, not the country though. Afghanistan or.
What else is in there? Syria?
Syria. I want to say.
Was it Russia helping bomb Syria?
No, Russia was bombed to take out ISIS.
Okay.
And apparently they never asked the United States for help, and we've just been like dropping bombs constantly over there. But now it's become a thing that they've asked Russia for help, and now the United States is saying now that maybe Russia is invading and whatever other stuff is coming up from that, to where, who knows, man? What if we do have another world war? Well, of course they wouldn't call it, it'd be like a world conflict 1. Or something, so they wouldn't say war because all the terminology.
But it's not up to the government because the media is what would push that, right?
The slogan of it.
Sure, right.
Well, I think going up to DEFCONs, right? Once you go into the lower DEFCONs, that's like where it becomes actually like war is happening. So it would be like the government actually saying war is happening. But
but
I think
say World War III,
it
would be we would have to go to war with like China. Or Russia, like another big power that would suck in other countries just because of everyone have to unite to some.
But this is a conflict which now Russia has been involved now. So I mean,
but Russia's been doing shit. What, earlier this year they invaded whatever fucking country, I don't know what it was, and we didn't do shit. I mean, it's not in our place to do shit. But
Crimea.
Yeah, right. Took half the country or something.
They like reappropriated a Russian-populated town on the border. Turkey or something. Crimea is part of some. Oh, was it Greece?
No, it wasn't Greece.
It wasn't Greece. It was somewhere. I don't know.
That's why it's real talk.
But that's
you don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Bro science.
Bro talk. How about this one?
Okay, what's
Because I like to talk about this.
Bring it on.
Okay, so a woman is suing her porn company.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
For during a glory hole scene. Is everybody clear on what a glory hole is? Was it started in truck stops?
I don't know. I think
because it's a hole in a bathroom stall.
I think it was. I think if I were to guess where it started in porn shops. It started in shops where like guys could sit and throw $1 in, and a fucking glass window would open up, and there would be some chick in there dancing, and then in the next room you have a chick that sticks his dick through a hole, and dudes blow him or something, or I mean, just some filth fucking hole.
Anyway, during this glory hole scene, she accidentally gave a blowjob to her brother.
That's fucked.
How do you not know your brother's like also working the same job?
And that's why she's suing the porn company.
I don't blame her. I do. Obviously, I would imagine that they know that their brother and sister. And if they don't, then they're not liable. If they actually don't know that they were brother and sister, then how is it their fault?
Yeah.
But if they actually know that they were brother and sister or were trying to pull some joke, that is fucked. That is fucked. Oh, that would fucking. Oh, I could never. You know. No. I could never look at my sister again. I'd be like, no, we're not brother and sister no more. I won't see you never.
It would be.
Send your Christmas cards to your children. Leave yourself out.
Or just not your mouth.
No, I don't even want to. I don't nothing. Ah, fuck. You would be fucked up. You would be fucked up.
So she's really she's angry about it and she's suing the shit out of her. Now, how does that happen?
She's a little upset. She's a little upset.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like.
How does that happen? I don't know. I mean, it's easy. It's one of the two. Like I said, it's one of the two. The porn company either didn't know, and they said, well, these two actor and actresses.
Well, a
were
glory
thrown
hole
in this-
scene, I think it's more than one, right? There's like plenty of men lined up, and it's
typically,
I think
like
that's
2
like
or
the,
3.
The premise of it.
Yeah.
It's
So there's a bunch of
it's
holes
constant-
with penises
no,
coming
it's-
out of them?
I
Goes across the board to many?
So I've
Or
seen
they
multiple ones where they stage it as a bathroom, right?
Uh-huh.
So you got a bathroom, you got like one hole on the left side, one hole on the right side, right? And she blows or fucks both dicks. But I've seen someone that's like, you got holes on the left side, on the right side, underneath. You got holes up top so the guy can reach his hands in and grab her.
Right.
And how creative do you want to get with it, I guess?
So one of those penises, that was her brother. And that's the whole thing.
That's fucked. That's fucked. I hope.
And they do that so you can get multiple cum shots. The mother
Sure.
shots.
Oh,
Sure.
I got it. I'm going to the bathroom.
I'm going home.
I don't care.
This has turned fucking weird. I don't know. I don't know what to hope. I don't know if I should hope that she wins a lawsuit or because you're in porno, do you deserve I guess you do deserve. You absolutely deserve to have a lawsuit.
There should be guidelines, and it should have been clear that she would not.
I think it all depends. Like I said, if she if she wins, it's because they knew it was her brother. If she loses, it's because they had no fucking clue that it was her brother, and it was just some fucking other cast guy to fucking do the scene. I mean, sucks for her.
Oh my gosh.
Sucks for her and her brother. Jesus.
Yeah.
All right, 10 top most drunkest towns in Indiana.
Okay.
All right.
Top 10.
Top 10. Should I start from number 10 and work my way up to number 1?
Yes, of course.
All right, I'll start from 10. 10 is Evansville.
Oh.
All right. Yeah.
Is that nearby?
I think it's somewhat nearby. It's kind of a college town from what I read. So they're 10. And the way this was all done up, I think it was done by population, bars per capita, which is like bars per the population.
Okay.
Right. And then liquor stores. Now I don't have all the facts on each town, but that's what it was.
So it's like
population of people, and then they threw in a divorce rate for whatever
what
reason.
about purchases? Or...
No purchases, but they also went with how many times people tweeted or put on Facebook that they were getting drunk, or going drinking, or got drunk. So it's also through social media as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So this is what they came up with. Evansville's number 10.
Okay.
Bloomington, number 9.
No, really?
Huge.
We were just there.
Right. Bloomington being number 9 is amazing.
We're doing a top 10 of the
most drunkest towns in Indiana.
Oh, yeah, Bloomington, because they're college.
number 9 though.
Number 9, way down there.
Oh, wow.
Surprising, right?
In the country or in the state?
Indiana.
Oh,
Yeah, Indiana. Monticello, which is like Indiana Beach.
Right. Totally camps.
Number 7 is Terre Haute.
Terre Haute. Yeah,
Haute.
Terre Haute, Indiana.
Really?
6, Warsaw.
Oh, okay, Warsaw.
Mm-hmm. 5, Mishawaka, which is like South Bend area, right?
Yeah.
Okay, alright. 4 is Lafayette.
Wow.
So Lafayette, well, I guess, is super big.
Well, that's Purdue.
Party town.
Purdue.
Yeah, bigger party town than IU.
Why?
Number 3, surprise, surprise, Michigan City.
Hey! That's my home.
Michigan City. Michigan City. Now I wrote stats for Michigan City. Population 31,000 people. Divorce rate's 15%. Bars per capita is 8th in Indiana, and the liquor stores are 12th in Indiana.
Wow. Not that one over by fucking 94. I hate that place.
Remember
Remember that guy who's like, I killed kittens?
Yeah!
Remember that? What the fuck
I
is that
don't
guy's
know.
deal?
I think he was lying. I think he's just a fucking asshole.
And then he like walked us to the door.
Yeah, I
What
don't
a fucking
I don't
great
know.
job. That spot by BP there. That we
No,
don't,
it's your
I drive all the
right.
way across to that other one because I like that one. They don't. Nice.
Oh, by BP?
The one is that's where we went.
Yeah, that's what
I
he's
hate
saying.
that place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fuck
I
that
go
place.
all the way over there by the laundromat and the B&B.
Oh, the B&B. Damn, you go way over there for that? For
Well, Normandy's like right in the middle, so it's like I could go that way or this way.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And it's just better to go that way.
Sure, makes sense.
I only ever buy soda water from them, but they're very friendly.
Yeah, they are. And they have a
No,
wine section
no, the
that's
one
crazy.
by BP.
What?
The shitty one. I
Oh.
shop there all the time.
Fuck that.
The guy called me Elton John,
He did.
and he was a dick. And then he said he killed kittens.
Why would he kill kittens?
He was trying to act tough, and then he walked us to the door like to intimidate
Which,
us.
how tough are you
If you
you're
kill
killing
kids,
First, you're not tough.
You're a
just a
psychopath.
fucking. Yeah, you are a psychopath.
and why are you bringing it up?
I don't want
For
to.
attention.
I think he's lying. Obviously, that's why I think he's lying. Just because you wouldn't
Yeah.
typically bring that up to strangers. New Albany's number 2 and Madison is number 1.
Madison, Indiana is number 1.
Yep.
Where the hell is that?
I have no idea.
Doesn't sound. Madison, Wisconsin?
No.
Madison, Wisconsin.
No, it's Indiana.
Probably pretty drunk, too.
It's Indiana.
Wow. So that's the top 10.
That's top 10.
Michigan City's third.
Yeah.
And Gary's not even on
Good. First off, their population is super low.
there.
And
You don't think 31,000 people live in Gary?
No, absolutely not.
Really?
That place is clearing the fuck out. I'd like to know now. But I don't, no one's moving to Gary. People are moving to Michigan City.
That's true.
Okay, since we're on a
Michigan
local
City's
bus,
pretty happening.
Yeah.
in Indy, a 43-year-old female, Karen Dolly, she was asleep on her couch in the living room when she woke up, and it was an intruder. His name was Jacob Wessel. He was 30 years old. She jumped up and immediately punched the guy 10 times.
Damn.
Ended up cornering him in the bedroom where she went for her gun in the drawer, grabbed the wrong drawer, and so went to her backup plan, which was her katana sword.
What?
Yeah, she immediately held it up to him, and the guy like totally curled up in the corner, and she held him there until police came, and he was charged with a residential entry. That's a felony. But she totally held him there with the fucking katana sword because she couldn't find her gun. But she immediately reacted and said that she jumped up from the sofa and just immediately punched the guy 10 times, which made him hazed. And
Obviously, this chick has some fucking skills in the fucking combat arts.
oh
man.
yes, oh, you know why? This is what her main training is. I forgot to write it on here. She is one of those people that sword fight for medieval Renaissance fairs. That's why she had the sword in the first
That's
place.
awesome.
Yeah.
So she immediately has
She
had
has
to
a
practice.
katana sword.
Well, yeah.
That's not.
Which they did have. Well, we went to the Renaissance fair and they had a variety.
Did they
Yeah.
have katanas just because they're
They-
like cool as fuck?
Well, they just had a variety of swords. They had,
Oh.
Katana swords are pretty specialized, but
Yeah.
yeah. But because pirates were there, Vikings were there, it was
not
kind
just Renaissance. it
yeah,
was like-
and we took 2 shots of Jameson that went down unbelievably smooth.
That's Jameson for you, dude.
nothing's
Yeah, but anyway, she rocked that dude.
That is awesome. That is fucking awesome.
yeah.
Good for her for fucking his world up.
Yeah, she rocked.
Fuck that dude. I read up on this cop in fucking Hammond, dude. A former high-ranking cop admits to stealing what he did was he was buying machine guns and putting on the police department's tab, and then fucking selling them to the black fucking market. And he was using a guy that ran a gun store to help distribute all these guns.
Oh my
And he was
God.
getting no permission from anybody.
Right.
This happened through 2008 and 2011. He's not a cop no more, but he runs like some auto body shop or some fucking bullshit.
He's made his money.
Oh yeah, but he's looking at serious prison
So
time.
what unfolded the whole?
What got him busted?
Yeah.
I don't know. They didn't say.
Not on video?
I would imagine that paperwork caught up with him because he wasn't getting permission from his.
It caught up to him in 2015.
Yeah. Well, he
Like
got,
what the fuck is
well, this was
happening?
going on to 11, so I'm imagining it went on 11, and now it's just time to prosecute.
Oh,
so
and
it's
the
taking
paperwork
forever.
has come out finally about the
Because
case.
They had to look into his superiors and why his superiors let this happen.
Right.
But they're not being indicted.
Holy
He's being
cow.
indicted with 2 other people, another cop and then that gun store owner. But they're bringing in, and we've talked about this on other podcasts, where like you outlaw guns, but like there's still this black market flow that might still get out there. And how do they get out there? Well, guys like this.
Right. And
He's not just selling handguns. He's not selling Glocks. He's not selling fucking 6-shooter Smith & Wessons. He's fucking selling machine guns.
yeah.
To fucking whoever that will pay the most money for it.
Right.
And this is Hammond, not a great town, but I guarantee you it happens throughout the country.
Yeah.
You don't think it's going to happen in Chicago?
Well, that's the thing with the DEA too. They're busted constantly
Constant.
with the drugs.
Yeah.
Hanging out with the cartels. And it's like, are we creating our own problems? You know, like, are we trying to create our own dilemma so then we have a dilemma to fight?
You know, I don't know if we were creating problems just so we have a dilemma to fight, but we are creating our own problems. You know, I mean, you got greed out there that for sure plays a
You
huge
have a
part in
private
it.
prison system where,
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's they're there, and then who do those profits go to?
Mm-hmm.
And who backs those private prisons? And then how do we fill those private prisons? Well, we make a war on drugs.
Yeah.
We make guns, but then all of a sudden we have like people that are these criminals that have guns and they're unregistered. Well, how does that happen? And then it's traced back to shit like this, and then
You're right.
people wonder, like, well, come on, like, is that true? Is that true? Like that statement of only criminals would have them, because criminals are getting them through the establishment.
Well, the criminals would have them, but the establishment would have them too.
But the
people that
establishment is
wouldn't-
giving
the
them
only-
criminals.
I
the
agree.
guns,
The only people that wouldn't have guns is people like you and me that actually probably would use guns responsibly. You know, and go through the laws.
Yeah, well, I would have to, just so
You would have
when
to.
I have it out.
Well, you
and
wouldn't.
I'm
You
walking
wouldn't.
around.
If you wanted to find a gun,
You think I could?
I'm
I don't
sure.
know the people. I feel like so.
All you
I
gotta do
like
is
that.
start asking around.
Where do I find
All
a
you
gun?
gotta do is just know a person with a gun and buy the gun off of him.
Yeah, he'd probably be like, go to the gun store. That's like,
Well, yeah, I guess if you, because that'd be risky too. Because if you bought the gun off the guy and he bought it legally,
Yeah, you would not.
it
want
would
that
come back to
traced
him. Anyway, if you wanted to, Michigan City is not Chesterton, right?
Gun show, you
You
think?
get a bunch of people at a gun show.
Well,
and
that's
somebody.
somewhat locked down now.
Well,
a lot
but the
better
people
now.
who are attending aren't locked down.
Yeah.
We strike up conversations with people.
That's
out
true.
Bought
there.
some stuff, man.
You
I
could
got an
for sure.
AK-47.
If you really sought it out,
Yeah.
you could get an unregistered gun.
Wow.
There's no doubt about it. Kill a fucking
I just
intruder,
don't-
throw it in the trash.
When I think about criminal like activity in their lifestyle,
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't even understand where's the first step to it.
That's
Like
the same
this-
way people think about buying pot or something. Or trying to, like, go to a party with underage kids there. I wouldn't even know where to find that. But if you look, it's all there.
It's true. It's true. I mean, like growing up.
You cut to the core of me, Baxter.
Nobody knows until you look. Like, once you look.
I see what you're
If
saying.
you
Like,
look
I've
hard
always
enough,
wanted to
you'll
go
find
to a rave really bad, or be invited. Because
Okay.
I've never been, because it's usually invite only. And I think a rave would be awesome. You know, and we talked about the blood rave that they're gonna have.
Blood rave?
Yeah, in Amsterdam.
You don't listen to the podcast.
Well,
In Amsterdam for Halloween, they're having a one-time and first time
like Blade.
blood rave, where it's a
Where
rave.
come out of sprinkler system?
Uh-huh, and drench everybody.
And be real blood. So I'm assuming
Real
like
blood?
animal blood.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be. It's actually gonna be chilled, so it doesn't like coagulate and all that shit.
Yeah.
But
Animal blood?
yeah.
Like pig blood?
Probably.
Pig,
That's what they
cow.
use for movies.
They're talking to all kinds of butchers over there, I'm sure. Big
They're like, oh yeah, we
Just
got blood.
Everybody's
taking
gonna
it.
end up with carrot
taking it by the fucking tanker fill.
That's the zombie apocalypse the blood rave creates.
Let me ask you this. Okay, fast zombies versus slow zombies.
I thought we went over.
No. What do you think would actually more likely would exist? Do you think like
Slow zombies.
you think slow zombies be more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would
Now-
just only make sense if there's brain trauma that makes them that way.
Yeah.
So where they would be running on primal instincts,
Mm-hmm.
which it still doesn't explain their digestive tract or why they're hungry. But
Right.
which is the fun part about zombies and vampires. Like we drink blood, but your organs aren't working. You're dead. So where is it going? It doesn't make sense.
Well, with vampires, I would say that it could just be absorbed through the system. Like, yeah, you're dead. I don't know. But
I think you're thinking of way too, where they drop that drop into like the stomach hole. It puckers up like a giant balloon knot.
Something like that happened in the new Terminator movie that pissed me off.
And what?
In the new Terminator movie Genesis,
Oh, yeah.
drop a fucking whatever. You did not see it. Anyway, what I want to say about zombies though is like, okay, I was thinking of this. Me and Eileen were talking. And I brought up like, I think zombies, if they did happen, right? How long do you think actually a zombie would exist? I don't think it would last.
Starve to death, you
I think the body would degenerate fast enough where eventually we would get a grasp on it and it would just die off. Like, okay, they're eating people, right? But they're gonna get full. They're not digesting, right? Everything's dead.
Right.
So they eat flesh. Eventually the flesh is gonna build up into their throats where they're just biting, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they're just biting, nothing, that's it. They're still killing people, granted that, but I think it would get to a point where that zombie 2 months down the road is just some fucking dead thing laying down.
That's weak and frail and
Yeah,
probably
not
can't even
doing
attack.
shit.
Right, yeah.
I think in a realistic zombie apocalypse, the humans, the big cities are hit hard. But I think it's very concentrated. I think we get a grasp on it, and as it spreads out, we contain it, and it doesn't take over the world, like they say. And let's just say,
Even if it took over the world,
Even if it took over the world.
would be like this whole like sweeping effect,
Mhm.
and then
a die-off.
yeah, but what if it's an infection? That's the whole thing. What if it is a virus?
Okay.
Or what if it is that when you die, like in The Walking Dead, like everybody has it, but once you
Ooh.
die, you become one. So
Well,
it would
now
be this
that's a different
constant
story.
fluctuation of
If it's a
survivors versus dead, and they would always be coming,
That's if it's an airborne thing that spreads through the entire world, where when you die, you're fucked. Obviously, you're fucked. Everyone's infected.
Yeah.
That would
When
be
you have it,
that would be the extension of the human species. The only way would
It's the constant like.
the only way I think
Children,
would be because as any kind of species, whether it's human or animal, there's people or animals that are resilient to certain viruses, correct?
Right, yeah.
So you would have the
percentage.
people that would die, but wouldn't turn into a zombie. You would think, because that's evolution, that's fucking Mother Nature. So there'd be a huge kill-off, but then there'd be that slow amount of people that do make it through, and then their children can make it through, and they build that resilience to the virus.
Right.
But I think overall, if it's not airborne, I think a zombie apocalypse is not as terrifying as what movies make it out to
I
be.
think it would be, because it would be bleak and it would be anarchy, but at the same rate that if they were fast zombies, you literally are screwed.
Oh,
I
you're
think
fucked.
when 28 Days Later came out and like really showed that, even though there was like that whole other storyline, which Annemarie watched that for her first time last year, and it's scary to think about. Like in 28 weeks later,
Yeah.
when he leaves his wife behind in that building and he's running.
Oh yeah.
Just to get away from them fast as I mean, dude, like how many people would even be able to run for that long?
Because they're not getting tired. Zombies.
No, I mean, how would they ever get
They're not getting tired.
Yeah.
But again, I think Fast Zombies is awesome. It's great for movies, but in realistic terms, probably not conceivable.
Yeah.
All right, man. You want to hit buffoon goose?
Yeah, let's do buffoon goose.
Buffoon goose. All right, man. I got three buffoon goose.
All right,
good. I got three.
Let's choose top
Let's
one.
see how good they are. How much you like it. All right. A priest was arrested after pointing a weapon at a young Cowboys fan.
Oh my god. Okay, well, I hope you got a lot written down there.
All right. So this priest, which I think was I got New Jersey priest. So what is that? Jets? The Jets or some shit?
Yeah.
All right. Let's just say he's
no,
a Jets
New York,
or Giants.
No, New York Jets, New York Giants.
No, New Jersey. Okay, so he's either a Giants or Jets fan, something like that. Probably. Let's just say I didn't write it down. Anyways, the kid was a Cowboys fan, and he was rooting for Cowboys, and the Cowboys won. Right?
Okay.
So this fucking before mass, this priest brings this boy aside into some other room and has a little talk with him. Puts the boy against the wall and grabs a musket. You know what a musket rifle is?
A musket rifle?
It's old Civil War thing that you have to pack fucking gunpowder.
It's revolutionary.
It's not. It wasn't. I guess it wasn't loaded or nothing, right? But
a musket.
He busts out this musket and points it and says, "I'm going to shoot you," and tells him because he was rooting for the Cowboys. So I don't know.
Wait, how old is this person that's Pope had?
Point with the boy? The boy?
Oh, not the Pope. Who the fuck is this guy?
He's just a priest. He's a Roman Catholic priest. So someone from his parish saw him and told the archdiocese, and then the archdiocese told prosecutors.
Archdiocese?
In Chicago?
No, it is a New Jersey priest.
Oh, okay.
So this priest is now getting criminal charges for pointing a gun.
A musket? He's like packing. How old was this kid?
I don't have it written down, but I believe he was in between 10 and 12 years old.
10, 12 years old?
Yeah.
He probably thought that weapon was weak. He was like, what the fuck you doing with that?
He's grabbing his big broomstick. Those things are huge!
Musket. Where the fuck did he have a musket?
It was a Civil War relic.
At the stadium?
At the church. This happened. Somehow.
They're not at the game.
They're not at the game.
Okay.
This is not at the game. This is at.
I'm trying to picture it like
they had
the game, and he's just got this.
They had a church function, right? They had this church function, and the kid was rooting against what the priest team was, the Cowboys, against whatever the priest liked, and he didn't like it. They pulled him aside. I think the priest is claiming that was a joke. That he was just
of
with the kid.
Course it was
of course,
a joke. Yeah.
But pointing a gun at a kid, and you got busted.
If it's not loaded and it's a Civil War relic, maybe he's got more.
I was just trying to teach him history.
Just trying to teach him history. By threatening him, I'm going to shoot you.
You know, if I shot you with this back then, you most likely died.
Or maybe he was just hitting on him.
How?
Yeah, he wanted to show.
So you musket boy.
You must not forget the musket. Alright.
A guy kisses a girl in a club and gets busted for cheating because the girl that he kissed posted on Facebook and social media trying to track him back down. Right? She posted on Facebook and social media because she got his number wrong. Right? Well, the guy's girlfriend broke up. This went viral. This is why I'm only bringing it up. Because this happens probably a lot, but it went viral.
Right.
The girl broke up with the guy. The guy's like, I'm going to get my girlfriend back. This was a one-time thing. I was stupid. The kiss meant a lot more to her. I gave her a fake number. And the girl's like, he wanted to go home with me. He's lying. And it just blew up. So, like, That's pretty much
So
it.
the guys in the club.
The guys in the club.
So
drunk,
his
shared
wait.
drunk.
So his girlfriend's at home and they didn't go out that.
They didn't go out together. Nope.
So he's at the club and he's flirting up with this thing all night. Then he kisses her, and then so he gives her a fake number saying, okay, yeah, I did my little night of cheating, I'm gonna go back.
Right, he thought
and
he was all
she
good.
puts it up on Facebook or whatever.
Because she snapped a picture selfie of them both kissing. It was a picture of them both kissing.
Man, that's a good one. That might be.
What was he thinking?
Yeah,
You don't
right.
let somebody, I mean, if you're cheating, you don't let somebody take your picture cheating. And if
It
it gets to the point where you're kissing, then you're really screwed.
Oh, yeah.
And
You
clearly
don't
you
kiss
don't
them.
care about who you're with.
Yeah, you don't try and fly by on the idea that you just kissed them. Like you kissed them.
Yeah,
It's
and you
your
know that
face,
worked
you know,
up
you
to
gotta
something.
ask
Yeah,
them.
like that one had gone a step beyond.
He's like, if it takes me 5 years, I'm getting my girlfriend back, and blah, blah, blah.
I would take your bet now. Best bet's with the side chick. I would get abandoned.
Abandon the steady
Because
girl.
it's gone. It's gone.
Oh,
you fucked
if
up.
she takes you back,
You fucked up, man.
she's an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. And
For sure.
all her friends are saying no.
Oh, yeah.
And her family's saying
And
no.
the point that
And I mean, you could try, and it may take 5 years, but you're gonna have to be like, she's gonna be having sex with other men. She's gonna be doing her thing, and you're gonna have to be like alone, single, still trying to get her back for 5 years, and maybe it would work.
Maybe.
But I just don't see that as a possibility.
Right.
Side chick.
Last one. Man poses as an agent to get VIP Comic-Con passes.
Yes. Oh my gosh, this is like the people that stuck in the bottom room. You know, like, okay, they would make ribbon bracelets for the festival. Okay.
That look like the plastic.
Fabric, but they're fabric.
Right.
And before they went, then we went there and it was plastic. But before then, these clever hippies would take shoelaces, color it with markers the same color, then tie it onto their wrist, and they were never questioned. They got in the bottom room for free.
Yeah, and then Bonner got smart and started putting fucking chips.
Well, yeah, now there's chips in it. You have to pass it and it beeps. They know.
That's so expensive.
Yeah.
But I mean, they would just color shoelaces, man.
We gotta go back to Bonner.
When we first
We
saw
gotta
that,
stop fucking
it
around.
literally blew my mind. This hippie guy, he's like, yeah, it's just, I colored it.
Yeah.
Or no, somebody took theirs off and he found it and he just slid his wrist into it, like his hand through it.
Eileen's friend Casey, you remember Casey from high school?
Mm-hmm.
She was one of those hippies that fucking traveled the country for like fish tours and shit.
Right.
And she was the one that like, we met her at Bonnaroo and she had one of those fucking ribbon things on. She didn't pay a ticket, she just fucking knew what the Bonnaroo fucking bracelet looked like. She made her own, she fucking
That's
walked right the
awesome.
fuck on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he gets into
this guy, okay, so
wow.
dresses as an agent to try and get into Comic-Con. He poses as a special agent for the Air Force. Tells them that there's that he's a special investigator and he needs a VIP pass because there's someone in there that he's trying to catch. Alright?
Okay.
So the officials at Comic-Con call the fucking Air Force, give the Air Force this dude's name, and they're like, we don't know who the fuck you're talking about. And they fucking arrest this guy, and he's gotten charges now for
Impersonating,
yeah, impersonating law enforcement, which is probably even more because it's on a federal level, right? So that guy is fucked just for some fucking Comic-Con.
Now, what state was that in?
Shit. Utah, I think. Salt Lake City.
I have never been to the Comic-Con, and I have always wanted to go.
Yeah.
I think I would do something stupid like that just to get in.
Really?
Just
Jeez.
because I really want to see Comic-Con.
But wouldn't you just rather pay the $50 or $40 or whatever the fuck ticket is and go to jail?
Probably more than that.
You think it's more than that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Fuck, Bonnaroo's what, $300 for a ticket?
Yeah, but Comic-Con's over a course of period. It's not just one day.
Yeah, but you want to go 3 days, right? But then you
Oh,
stay
you
in a
probably do
hotel
because
too.
each day is different
Different
people.
Unless you pick a day where it's like, okay, that person's there. And I wanna see them.
Right. That's true.
Because that, yeah.
But that's how they do it with.
So this.
So that's your 3 people. That's your 3 people.
That's the 3 buffoon goons.
That's the 3 buffoon goons.
Yeah.
What you got? Who you picking?
Ladies first.
Okay,
Me?
guess
I got
first.
nothing.
You gotta pick one of the 3 stories. Which one's the buffoon goon? Who needs your vote?
Oh.
So let's recap,
So the
just to
first
make sure.
Recap, you got
The
3
first
set
one
points,
was
gun, and
the
boy.
Okay, priest points
Oh.
musket
And
at boy because
Cowboys
of
fan.
sports.
Guy kisses girl in club, goes viral,
Right.
vows to get her back.
Right.
And then you got guy dresses as special agent Air Force man, is trying to get
Special agent Air Force man.
trying to
Get
get
it.
VIP tickets.
Oh man, I'm going with special agent guy.
I feel like that could have worked if he hadn't gone so far. Like if he hadn't tried to be so great.
It's such a nerd thing to do to get in the Comic-Con. And now the dude's got serious charges.
Serious charges. I'm going with the priest.
You know what's a priest?
Yeah, just because you're pointing a gun at a fucking kid,
musket.
and you're a priest. You're a priest. You're not
It's
some
just not
fucking
tough.
drunk fan, which still is not excusable. But you're a fucking priest.
Yeah. I gotta go with Facebook guy.
Facebook guy?
So we're all mixed up.
Nice,
huh?
nice. That's a first. Like it.
Well, help us decide too.
Yeah, throw your
Listeners,
comment in.
throw your comment in. Who is the buffoon goon of this episode? Is it priest that pointed a musket at a kid over rival football teams? Is it the guy that kissed his girlfriend?
No, he did not kiss his girl.
Oh no, he didn't. He kissed another.
Kiss some other girl.
Yeah.
Well, see, the other 2 I feel like could have had bad judgment. Like the priest may have thought that he was joking, but he fucked it up. The Comic-Con guy may have thought he could get away with it, but he went way too far. Guy who kissed that girl was clearly out of line, and then tried to play it off and mess it up.
And she
Like
went
it was a bad idea to begin with. If you're gonna try and make out with some girl who takes pictures of you while you're kissing.
Yeah.
He was, I guarantee that he was fucking drunk as shit. Not excusing, just drunk as shit. And thought he'd get away with it.
Yeah. Yeah. The first one scares me, and the reason why, and it's like why I don't really care about sports anymore, is that it's just so intense with sports. And to think about like how sports are already, and to where this guy loves his team so much, this pastor, priest, that he's gonna threaten a child because he likes a rival team or whatever. I mean, that.
You don't believe that he was
Like
joking
sports-
and just like.
No, I think he snapped. Then he now is trying to backpedal. Dude, yeah, because first of all, he probably runs his house the same way. And then he saw this punk kid that fired him up for some reason. That was like, and he was like, dude,
What
I'm gonna
house? His house
Look, this
is
is how,
just
this is
him.
how, this is,
Right? Priest can't get
this
married.
is how, no, priest can't. Well, yeah, Roman Catholic, no, they can't.
Oh,
marry.
Catholics, yeah, that's
So
right.
it's just him and his
No,
house.
because the one
But this
that
is how-
St.
this
Pat's
is-
was married, and they had their own side little house on the
No, they
side of
don't.
it. Yeah,
no.
they do.
St. Pants?
Uh-huh.
That dude, no fucking way. The priest that runs that cannot get married. That's straight up Catholic. That's not Roman Catholic, that's nothing. That is Catholic. You cannot get married.
Oh,
Cannot.
that's right. No,
He
my
has
mom-
his little side house.
There's some.
Right, yeah,
And there's
exactly.
women that come in and out of those places
Right.
because they all help the priest.
Yeah, no, I know what they do.
Okay, but he's not married. Is he getting some side piece? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But he's not
The
married.
hand of God.
You don't feel the
but
list,
no,
Jesus.
this is how serious. Like sports. I mean, and I'm not a sports guy, right? But I'm a Sox fan, right? And then you got Cubs fans, right?
Yeah.
I'll be sitting at work and I'll hear a Cubs fan ranting on about the Cubs and then trying to talk shit about the Sox, and I get pissed.
Right.
I get pissed, and I don't give a fuck about baseball.
Right.
I don't give a shit.
But it's
like,
like, yeah.
I'm a Sox fan, and because I'm that fan, I'm going to take offense.
Right.
I'm going to take
Exactly.
offense.
And that's what I'm saying. This was not a joke. He took offense to it. And
He's playing it off as a joke.
Right. Because he's backpedaling.
Mm.
But,
You take offense
but when you're
to it.
into sports,
Oh.
like it's your your team.
Kids
Like,
are the worst. Kids are the worst because they talk so much shit, knowing I can't grab you
Yeah.
and shake you.
And there's nothing, dude. But I can show you this musket, and I can load it up very slowly, and I can demonstrate how.
The best example of kids talking shit is online gaming.
Oh gosh, yeah.
You got games like Call of Duty that people across the world play, right?
Mm-hmm.
These fucking 12-year-old, 9-year-old kids
Even, yeah, 9, 8.
playing these Call of Duty with grown men, right? And these kids are fucking good, right? And they're slaughtering people. And they're just talking mad shit to adults. And they're like, fuck your mother, you suck.
Yeah, but it's not even like that. It's like, fuck your mother. I kick your ass, you shit. It's like, dude, hit puberty and come over to my fucking house and smash you.
And you get that. And that's over a video game, let alone a sports team, which becomes very competitive,
man.
Just, I mean, like with the video game, he's attacking your play as an individual.
Mm-hmm.
With the sports team, it's your team, and so like by association, it's insulting.
Right.
But it's not you personally.
Yeah, but you two have to know about this from martial arts, right? Like, I mean, there's competitiveness
There you
where
go.
are you hot about that? Like, you.
If it's your performance as an individual, you don't.
What
But
if it's like your teammate
And you have to get the points to.
and your teammate got beat, and then this other person's like talking mad shit to your teammate? You're essentially like in the football realm. It's like, what is it?
I would say it's more team.
You're part of the
fans
team.
there.
You feel part of that team. Same as competitive sports. You know, it happens all the time. So like you grows like anger toward this person talking
but if it were a
shit.
kid, I feel like it would be, I mean, like, yeah, it would be frustrating, but you would know that there's a line.
A
You can't
sane,
cross.
mentally healthy person would know. All right? This priest is obviously not healthy mentally.
He's not properly social.
And he's got issues.
Yeah, I guess so.
Kids will piss me off, but I will never point a gun at a kid. Whether it's a fucking musket or anything else.
See, I hate kids, but I don't think I would ever.
Yeah.
I just can't deal with kids I don't like. Now, young kids who are sassy, like the ones that piss everybody else off, I actually like them better than I do babies. It's when they're little and they're illogical and you can't talk to them and they don't listen to you that I find them so frustrating.
Well, okay, I see what you're saying. I mean, it's because you can't console them. Like a baby crying that won't stop crying is like torture to your brain.
You just shake them. You shake them until they stop, and then you lay them back down.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that. Yeah. Yeah, I also heard you go to jail for 20 years.
It's called SBS, and it's the best rest. Okay, speaking of children though.
Oh, I got one for children too. You go first.
Okay, Maine High School, high school in Maine, is doing away with school dances altogether.
Dirty dancing.
And it's all over grinding.
Knew it.
Okay, the principal says in no way is it the students' fault, but the dancing they have witnessed on MTV and VHS movies, which I think he was trying to say VH1, involved primarily only sexual suggestive movements. A girl's body, and for grinding, he was like, this is a girl's body and buttocks pushed up against the boy's groin with the boy's hands on her hips and other places.
Yeah.
And a kid was quoted kind of hoping to change the idea that the principal had is if people want to grind, then why not kick them out? Don't do away or ban the whole entire dance because some of these kids want to go there and have fun and it's kind of unfair. But this is not the only school to do it. This has actually been like a movement. Same thing with like saggy pants.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, sagging pants is so...
It's stupid, but to make it a law that you can't say
sag your pants,
it's freaking ridiculous.
Dude,
well, that's what I mean.
Let's go to the beach. Let's go to the beach and outlaw indecent exposure to women that's wearing bikinis. Because if you because right now any woman stripped down naked, you're wearing Your underwear and your bra. It's essentially the same thing at the beach.
In fact, I think the string bikini is smaller than the underwear and bra that I'm wearing on a regular basis.
Yeah, and that's allowed, right? Because what, you're at the beach? What does the fucking
Well,
make
the
a
thing with
difference?
skinny pants is that it's clearly stereotyping. You know what?
It's clear stereotyping.
What
Okay, but to get
what
back to
demographic you're looking for.
you're 100% right. But to get back to the dance thing, you
Right.
know, okay, yeah, that kid's probably right. Kick him out. If you're, and give him a warning, right? But hey, if you're going to be grinding, we'll give you one warning. We see you doing it again.
Right.
You're out of here.
Yeah.
Your dance night is over. You're going to have to go. It's seriously that simple.
And this is where I think, in my opinion, we've done such the way of Puritans when it comes to sexuality that now these kids are dancing in this way, and now here it comes again of like, we don't talk about sex, yet these kids are dancing in a sexual way. And instead of addressing it like when they were younger, or like explaining sex, you know, it's almost like now kids yearn like this. They know like this is hip, this is cool. You know, we're pretending, we're dancing, we're having fun. You know, yeah, maybe I'm getting turned on too because the girls in like one of them silky soft dresses, and I'm like fucking riding.
Dude, you're in high school.
Like,
there's so much sexual tension in high school. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy. And then you're gonna hold a dance, and then
you play and have a DJ probably playing music
that makes you
exactly.
You're not playing BB King fucking.
It's on Fats Dominoes jamming up there.
You got fucking
California.
Yeah.
Immediately when you hear that beat, you want to start thrusting. It's like the automatic thing to do.
Yeah, and yeah, dude, it's.
What do you think, Amber? Do you think it's over?
I think it's ridiculous. It's not like they're not gonna hump behind closed doors when you're not looking.
I was almost gonna say.
Stop them at the dance, like. Great job, guys. They're just gonna leave the dance and go to the parking lot.
Kick them out.
There
you go. They're going. I'm going to my dad's Buick
Right.
that he let me borrow for the fucking dance.
I mean, you can try and stop
That's
it. They'll find a way.
I didn't write it down here in my notes, but it was literally part of it too. Was another student said, "Fuck the dance." Well, he didn't literally say that but he would have been quoted. but he didn't say. But I'm saying, "Fuck the dance," and he was having a big bonfire party at his house,
Good for
and all
him.
the people were still dressing up and going to this kid's party.
Good for him.
Instead, he was like, "That dance is going to be a ghost town because they're all coming to my fire at my house,
Nice.
and they're going to have fun there and dance and
Nice.
do whatever they want." And he said people are more than welcome to stay at night, and now they're talking about those house events or whatever. It's like you're going to ban the dance, and now they're like, we're going to throw our own parties, you know?
That's awesome.
So.
I agree.
That's fucking awesome. Good for that kid. That's awesome.
But yeah.
Good for the parents allowing that
Do
to
you
happen
see
to keep it
the
regulated.
kind of
So no one gets in trouble.
the hypocrisy there of like, don't grind, but we're going to play music that makes you want
I
to
hear the
dance and that whatever.
I hear the hypocrisy. I also see that it's over policing in a sense where like we're just shutting this whole bitch down. You don't have to go that extreme, man. You got great kids in that school that just want to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, maybe they're dancing a little aggressive and provocative, but like just tell them to chill out or you gotta go. And like, I mean, you don't have to be dicks about it. That's why, that's why I hate the public school system. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the only reason, but that sucks. That sucks for the kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because that is something, homecoming and prom, like
It's
they
been forever.
They look forward to it, even though it's like you spend so much on a dress and a tuxedo, and you're like, what the fuck? But it's like that's
fun.
And it's what they look forward to.
Yeah.
Why
That's a shame.
take it all away just because people want to dance? And I remember grinding going on when we were in school.
Yeah.
I remember it. I mean, it's.
Dude, your fucking hormones are raging. Raging!
You mean they're not now?
I'm 31 years old. Not as much when I was 18, 17 years old.
Where it was like a leaf blew.
It's just like you wake up from taking a nap in school and you got this raging boner going on, holding your books against your crotch just to keep you down so no one knew.
Mm-hmm. Using the old hands in the pockets to adjust. Right?
Yeah. No, I'm
That's
not.
real.
That's real.
Yeah, people know.
That's facts. That's
I
facts.
just, you guys must have such a tumultuous existence. Sounds awful.
Why, thank you.
Wasn't that awful? You just learn to deal. Learn to deal.
So what you got over there?
Okay, this infant was in a car accident. 16-month-old baby, and it just happened in Australia. Was in a car accident going 70 miles an hour. All right. This kid was decapitated in the sense that his head didn't come off, but the head pulled away from its spine, right? Doctors were able to reattach this kid's freaking spine to its head, and looks like it's gonna make a full recovery.
Okay.
6 hours worth of surgery. They had to use wire and grafted some of its rib to its vertebrae.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. It's the vertebrae that pulled out, like as
Yes.
Yeah, because
This
it
kid's
would
in a
have pulled
halo.
there from your spinal column and just pulled the vertebrae directly out.
Kid's in a halo. Kid's looking good. They think it's gonna make a foot. In first surgery of its kind to happen. Successfully. I'm sure they tried it. It may not happen, but successfully.
They actually cut off a dog's head and put it on another dog, and it lived for a couple days and even drank and ate.
Did you hear about they're trying to do that with
And
a
that
man in
was a long
Russia?
time ago.
You hear they're trying to do that with a man in Russia? Take his head off and put it on a different body? They're getting ready to do it.
And they
think it's going to work.
Okay, in World War II, Stalin was trying to make beast men, and was trying.
Frankenstein's?
Had a woman that was donated herself voluntarily to mate with a gorilla and try and make super soldiers. These gorilla men that would like run and control everything as the war.
What?
Yeah, during World War II.
Obviously that didn't work out.
No, it didn't. and a lot of it now has been conspiracy theories and shit. But the documents do exist of this, and they don't know how far the experiments went. Just like the Men Under the Sun or whatever, that Japanese movie that they made about the experiments during World War II that the Japanese people did and the government did.
You know what was the most brutal part? I don't know what was, because I remember. You remember the part where they keep, I think it's a woman, outside in the freezing cold, and they have her arms in this like, what looks like, what do they call that thing? What do they call that thing? Where you put your head in it?
No, what you did in the Renaissance
The
fair.
stocks.
Yeah.
So her head's not in the stocks, but her arms are in. And they continuously pour water over her arms.
And it's freezing cold.
Right.
So it's just icing on her arms.
And then they just walk up and whack! Break her arms off. And she does it, she's screaming, but like, this is a documentary movie,
but it's like over and over. This has been happening, iced over her arms, pouring cold water,
Right.
pouring cold water. I mean, who knows how long she's been out there and it's been being done to her?
let's just say
And then all of a sudden,
day.
this dude walks up and he's just like, whack!
Cuts them off. Japanese people were doing this kind of, like Germans were
And
doing
that
all
might
kinds
be
of crazy stuff.
exaggerated, but there was like definite torture and weird experiments going on, especially during World War II.
So they just break her arms off because they're frozen?
Just to see if
what would happen.
Yeah.
See what would happen.
You just like animals. I mean, think of makeup being tested on animals.
Yeah.
Like they rub it in their eyes and they're like, it fucked your eyes up. Like you didn't know that.
No idea.
But shit, you put it in. You had to rub it in a rabbit's eye and be like, oh yeah, I lost its eye. I guess don't get.
We do it to mice all the time. We find all kinds of scientific information through sacrificing mice.
Oh yeah.
But no, we get the fuck because they're mice.
I mean, I know that like people.
I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to it.
But I
That's what
think
we do.
this is the thing. I'm not saying nobody understands like where it actually is and like how far it actually goes sometimes. You know, and that's my pet peeve is that okay, yeah, I understand it does need to exist. It does because we need to find out what's going on. We need to test things. But at the same rate, like there is shit that goes on. Like this, for instance, where it's just like, okay, man, like, I mean, that's clearly, like, you are torturing this fucking thing for no fucking reason. And it's like that Family Guy skit, where it's the guys testing the lipstick, and they put lipstick on the bunny, and then they shoot the bunny with a pistol, and they're like, lipstick not bulletproof.
Right.
Shit. You know, it's like, was that really necessary? And that's like making a joke of just how bad it can actually be, and I don't think people realize that, and that's where I get like, because I do know that we do need testing, and somebody's got
It's got to start somewhere.
Yeah, and But at the same rate, like some shit is just like, why? What is the point of that? Like I've seen videos of where they flamethrower on a pig, then let the pig, like they don't even kill it, and then they're feeding it and watering it. And it's like, dude, why did you burn it to where it has these fucking 3rd-degree burns, and now you're letting it live? Like, what is the point of this?
Only thing I can think of is to test, and I have no idea why they would, but to test injuries for certain amount of degrees.
Or
Not just certain amount of degrees of burns, because pig skin is very comparable to our skin, right?
Yes.
So you flame fucking torch it, right? And then you test the reaction to heat and recovery. I mean, there's properties to that. I mean, I've seen that video, and it's older video. It's older video. So this is something that happened a good while away.
Like early 70s or
80s, early 80s. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it is fucking brutal. No, I could not personally conduct that kind of stuff with a clear conscience. Could not do it. But these guys are doing it. I hope they got something good out of it. I can only hope. But that is fucking brutal. That is torture.
And that's the only thing. It's like I'm not joining PETA tomorrow, but I
those
think
kinds of experiments,
like
those kinds of experiments don't have to happen in the sense because you got people that get burned like that, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, so why can't you just do a study on the people that already got burned like that and see what the recovery is? Why do you gotta fucking blowtorch a fucking pig and then keep it alive?
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? I think we've come a long way since that video come out.
Yeah, but
right?
I would fucking hope so.
I would hope so. It's fucked up. Have you heard of fecal transplants?
What?
Fecal transplants.
I've heard of fecal matter, and I've heard of nano shits.
Mm-hmm. Fecal transplants is a real thing that's existed for a long time. It's where you take feces from a healthy person, right? And you mix it with saline solution, strain it, and inject it into a unhealthy person.
What?
That has to give them the good bacteria.
No.
That gets absorbed into their body, and apparently it's very low cost, low risk, and high effectiveness. And it's been going on in the States at least since the 50s, but it's not widely.
You know this? How do you know this?
It's not widely used.
It makes sense though.
But it's a new drug. They're calling it a new drug or treatment, and only so many doctors can do it. It's not really covered under insurance.
No, why would it be?
But China's been using it for over 100 years, and they call it yellow soup.
China been using toxic water for over 100 years.
That's India.
Yeah, it's Asia.
That's India.
But yeah.
But yeah, that's a real thing, and I guess it works very well.
To repopulate your intestines?
Yes.
Well, they say most mental illness, like Alzheimer's, dementia, like it's stuff we put in our stomach because I guess our stomach has a whole nother living system.
Yes.
That has like only been found within the past decade, and that this one, I can't remember if he's Swedish or I can't remember where he's from, but he's literally like found that our stomach is
the
like
brain in your guts.
It's a brain in your guts, exactly, and that is his entire theory.
Gut instincts, right?
And that's where it's coming from. Is that this living system inside of our guts is like, if we touch aluminum a lot and like drink from aluminum, then that liquid's passing over that aluminum, taking the toxicities and whatever toxins right straight to our stomach.
Right.
Our stomach is being affected before our brain is, but at the same point, like it's digesting shit, and so it's giving us these.
Well, apparently
diseases.
there's some kind of direct flow
Parkinson's,
from your stomach, some kind of nervous system direct flow from your stomach to your brain. So it acts. It's like almost a second brain.
Right.
I think they're doing current research on that now.
Yeah, it's literally astounding. I don't know if this country will pick up on that research.
They've already started talking about Alzheimer's and dementia and how it's related to gut bacteria.
In this country, or really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Because usually we're behind.
We are behind, but I think that, as you say, they've been doing it for a long time, and we're just now picking up
Well, the
That makes
fecal
sense.
transplants.
And then you get that aorta vein that goes like if you're thin, you have that giant vein that'll pulse in your stomach.
Right, yeah.
Oh,
you
yeah.
feel your heartbeat in your stomach.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right
right.
below your sternum.
Like when you ate too much Chinese food, you're like, oh, it's a buffet, and it's just like goo goo goo. Your stomach's probably like already getting you dementia.
Is it impossible to go to a Chinese buffet and not gorge yourself?
Dude, it's that MSG. It's gotta be.
I think it's because it's a buffet. I think the MSG helps, but I think you go in with the mindset of, I'm getting the most amount I can for my dollar.
Yes, and I agree 100%. Here's the thing though, we go to India House in Michigan City, and that place is phenomenal. I never feel as sickening full from that place, and it's a buffet, as I do when we went to Dynasty recently.
Less of it is fried, and there's less options. It's just stew and rice.
Right, I see.
Okay.
It's harder to eat
There is a
stew
lot
and
of
rice
fried.
than there is.
Oh, Chinese buffets, all kinds of fried shit, right?
Yeah, and
Good call.
yeah, I wonder if,
Good call.
Because when you're eating something like stew over rice, you're not going to eat that unless you're hungry. Because that's legit food. It's not like little fried snacky things, like egg
or like
rolls,
pineapple
and
wrapped in bacon.
like fried noodles and all that stuff. That
Fried
you can just
ready
like
goodness.
yum.
And the MSG, because they literally inject MSG into rats and they get fatter.
Yeah.
And that's not the experiment, that's what they do to make them fat.
And if you're allergic to MSG,
It's like protocol.
I wish I was allergic to MSG and I wouldn't eat it.
I wish I was allergic to everything.
No, you don't.
So I could just live in a bubble.
That'd be terrible.
And then just put my
You're talking crazy.
bubble hole,
You're
glory
talking
hole.
crazy. It's time for verses.
Versus!
Oh, here we go.
Okay,
You got the
I've
verses.
got all kinds. I've been thinking like a motherfucker.
Have you?
Okay, let me say this one before I get into the good ones, because
Alright.
I thought of this one while we were in Bloomington at her sister's house, which was an awesome visit. Anyway, 7 dwarfs versus the Oompa Loompas.
Are we talking straight on 7-7 battle?
We're talking
Oompa
like-
Loompas,
yes.
I imagine are a colony of maybe 100 people.
But we're saying that they equal, like there's 7 angry
7 on 7.
Oompa Loompas
Alright.
and there's 7 dwarfs.
Seven
and
on
it's
seven.
like-
That is awesome. Oh man.
I don't know.
I'm
Some
gonna.
of those dwarves are worthless.
I'm going.
and right.
Good call. Good
Right.
call. I'm gonna go with 7 dwarfs because they're minors. All of them go into mines.
Dopey.
They're still minors. They're just the
Bashful.
dummies. They're
He's
just
so
the
lovable.
dummies. They're just the dummies. I think the dwarves take them because they're harder. They work in the
Grumpy
mines.
alone could probably
Take out
4
4.
or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
I mean,
motherfucker-
him alone.
For shit.
And Doc probably might have like a trap.
Some
or
engineering,
something. Right,
yeah.
totally.
I think.
the Oompa
Sneezy.
Loompas would win. Because they're crafty. The Oompa Loompas would be like, I mean, they're dealing with all the
Would they bust out the song and be
machines.
like, Oompa Loompa?
Right, and the 7 dwarfs
And
are
they
like,
might
hi-ho,
work together.
hi-ho.
They're all just battling in their own cannons.
What were you saying, Rick?
Well, I just think that because they have like all those machines around, maybe they would craft some sort of like cool attacky mechanism or strategy or something. Because the dwarves, a couple of them are good, but most of them I feel like are purely lovers. Like they have no fight.
That's
Right.
true. But
Yeah.
that's only because they met Snow White. How were
Or
they
because they
before
were-
they met her?
You think
Created
Bashful
by
wasn't
Disney.
bashful until...
I think he was bashful, but like, how do you know that you're bashful until you meet a beautiful woman that's so nice to you and stuff? He's just some fucking dwarf out in the middle of the goddamn woods. He's not bashful to his brothers. Why would he be bashful to his brothers?
I think he was always bashful.
Yeah, just like Sneezy was Sneezy.
And
Sleepy
Sleepy.
was Sleepy. Okay, let's get into it here then, okay?
Alright. Well, who'd you pick? You picked fucking dwarfs or fucking...
I'm going Oompa Loompas because
You
I
are?
think they would. First of all, Grumpy is the only one that they have to worry about. The rest are bitches. The rest are done.
Alright.
The Oompa Loompas were Oompa Loompa whoopity ass.
Whoopity ass.
Yeah. Cover them motherfuckers with glass and punch them until they were just broken in half. And
Nice.
there's nothing.
Like it.
Okay, so we got Slimer from Ghostbusters versus Casper, the friendly ghost.
Oh, come on. You go first. Every guess first.
Casper never fights anybody. And Slimer's kind of mean.
Okay, so you're
I
going
feel like
with.
Slimer would win.
But Slimer really isn't mean, though. That's the whole
But
thing.
he
That's what
slimes
makes us
everyone.
fight
That's
nice.
a rude thing to do.
But would he
I-
be able to slime Casper?
First off, let's just say that ghosts can inflict physical harm on other ghosts somehow.
Okay,
Am I right?
yeah. For the sake of this, let's do that.
Yeah.
I think Slimer's insane.
Yeah.
And I side with you, Annemarie, and say that Casper gets destroyed.
Destroy
Yes.
that Slimer.
Destroyed!
When I saw
He's a friendly ghost.
Yeah, he's
not
the friendly
gonna
guy.
do
He's like, no, no, pat, 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 and he's killed.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, when I did it, I saw two ghosts that may be equal in stats to where. But how
But
about?
Casper never fights, so we don't really know what Casper's bad at.
I feel like he's crafty,
Is he?
and Slimer is not crafty. Slimer, I
No.
think, is running on
But how do you know
Fine,
Casper's
instinct,
crafty? What
and-
is your evidence?
because Casper actually has personality.
And
Slimer
intelligence.
has, and Slimer doesn't really show that. He doesn't show
I think
intelligence. He doesn't
there's
show.
Casper in this house with that light flicker.
Yeah, he's like, what'd you say about me, motherfucker? Okay, how about this one?
Yeah.
Because I was really proud of this one, and I hope you guys like it.
Alright.
Sarah Connor
Okay.
versus Lieutenant Ripley.
Ooh. Oh, that is good. Lieutenant Ripley from the first Alien?
We're talking second, Aliens, where she is.
Aliens.
Yeah, where she is now who she is and ready to get
Full on
away from
bad.
her, you
She's full on
bitch. And yeah, like
So
she's going.
Sarah Connor from Terminator 2?
2.
Oh, okay.
Sarah Connor from Terminator 2, Lieutenant Ripley from Aliens.
That's
Aliens.
hard.
Because they are supreme badasses, I think. And I think Sarah Connor may be in better shape. That's the only thing that kind of made me.
Well, because
But
Lieutenant
Lieutenant Ripley
Ripley's
Yeah,
coming out of
shape.
cryogenic sleep.
constantly.
When,
Like
when
30
Sarah
years.
Connor is in an insane ward just doing pull-ups on her fucking bed.
So you're saying Sarah Connor's tougher?
Physically stronger. Endurance, who knows? I don't know if she's running in place. Or
I would say they were both as crafty and as. Because I think they're. And determined. Like they're
Yeah.
both. Like on the same
God,
level.
that is rough, dude. That is rough.
For some reason, I want to say Lieutenant Ripley takes it.
Is this hand-to-hand?
You do?
Is this
But
hand-to-hand
I
combat?
love Sarah Connor.
Like, I think it's. Yeah, I think it would be. It would be
Hand-to-hand.
battle of wits. It would be them kind of rocking it. You know, hand to hand.
Whew, man. Alright, well I'm gonna try and think of it as a boxing match then. Okay. So this is hand to hand, but no holds bars. Lieutenant Ripley is way taller, got some reach.
She has reach, yeah, definitely.
So she's probably got
skinny,
weight.
though.
She
They're
is.
both skinny. They're both skinny.
Well,
But Sarah Connor's like buff
ripped
skinny.
in the
It's
second
true.
one.
It's true.
Like, Sarah Connor is
She's the kind of
definitely
woman
in
that you
shape.
don't approach on the street and fuck with as another woman. She looks hard as fuck.
Yeah, it's like you
Sarah
say hi to
Connor-
her, you can't call her, and she looks at you, and you're like, even your posse.
I'm gonna go with Sarah Connor because I would think by the second Terminator, right? She is trained. She has been working her way to defeating the Terminators. She has
What if I
gone.
change it
Hold on,
to...
she has studied weapons and combat and she's ready for all kinds of
Absolutely
outcomes.
right.
Where Sarah Connor has been asleep and woke
Or
up into
Lieutenant
another
Ripley.
environment. Yes,
Yeah.
right. Lieutenant Ripley woke up into another environment where she needs to just instantly react. Sarah Connor has been developing herself to be combative.
Now, what if I said Sarah Connor from Terminator 2 and Lieutenant Ripley from Alien 3?
Alien 3, well,
Because now she has been through the shit, and like by Alien 3, I mean they try to rape her, and she totally like fucking. I mean that guy helps her, but she is ready to whoop their asses, you know.
Yeah, okay, you go Alien 3.
She's still skinnier than Sarah.
That is true. I think
Like
Sarah
10
Connor
times.
is.
But she's got height on her. She's got height, which height don't mean everything, don't get me wrong, but it does on a, well, not really. Not
Yeah.
but-
Power though.
I'm
Look
sticking
at
with
the
Sarah
power.
Connor. I'm sticking with Sarah Connor. I think she's better trained regardless. She trains for a certain fight, and that's to be two against machines, where Lieutenant Ripley is just asleep, wakes up, battles, figures stuff out intelligently because she can't hand-to-hand combat an alien. It's not going to happen. You have to shoot them.
Right.
Sarah Connor can outmaneuver and has to, and not
Outwit
hand-to-hand,
her
but she's fighting a Terminator, not some fucking alien being. I stick with Sarah Connor. That's a great one. I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah, I think now that I'm thinking about it more, although I love Lieutenant Ripley, like Sarah Connor is just in way better
Well, and
shape,
because they're
and
both
she's
fighting other humans, being in good physical shape makes a big difference.
yeah.
Like if you're fighting
Endurance.
another human, yeah, you want to be Sarah Connor in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sarah Connor is.
Because she's got like a one-track mind, like stay in shape to fight.
Don't be terminated.
But with same one-track mind, Lieutenant Ripley does too, though, because she's waking up and she's going to sleep and waking up with one thing in her mind: aliens. Every time she wakes up, it's
Yeah.
fucking aliens.
And
aliens.
she is on edge about it. I think her anxiety.
But
well, I
in
don't
her
know. Sarah Connor.
training.
Sarah Connor does seem well, not weak-minded, but like anxiety has taken over her to where she is shaking,
Paranoid as fuck.
just as Lieutenant Ripley is
Yeah.
after the second one or after the first one. Like,
Yeah.
because she is just.
You're right.
They're both like.
But we're pitting them in a battle against each other, so they're focused on just them
Right.
two. So they got a target. I'm killing you.
Right. Or even just whooping your ass, you know, to you know,
Right.
tell you I'm the boss.
This is a battle to the death. Someone's dying.
Sarah Connor. I say Sarah Connor.
Yeah. Great verses, dude. That was
Yeah,
fucking
that was
shit, dude.
Okay.
Love that one.
So,
That was awesome. Now I know you haven't seen it, but Sarah Connor in the new Genesis is totally a different Sarah Connor.
Oh,
So like,
geez.
we can't bring it up because I won't bring it up because you haven't seen it and you need to see it. But that would be another type of Sarah Connor
right.
to bring up with that.
What about
Soft Sarah.
Dracula versus Rambo?
Dracula versus Rambo? That's a good one. That is a
Doesn't
good
Dracula have powers?
But
He does have
Rambo
powers.
is like, I mean, he's fucking Rambo.
one. Look, you got Ben Helsing, right? That's supposed to be
A normal dude.
right? That's supposed to be the vampire
Fire hunter.
killer, right? I think Rambo's tougher than his ass.
And that's what I thought. Like, is it Rambo? Like, couldn't he be a monster hunter?
Let's just say Rambo is well informed about vampires, right? He knows what he's got to hunt down. He knows their weakness for the most part, and he can react. I think Rambo stands a great chance, but it's Dracula though. You're not just talking vampire.
It's the head of the vampires.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah.
Yeah, that makes a difference.
But, I mean, still, the stake in the heart is going to work. And don't you think Rambo might be able to get in there and put the stake in the heart? On Dracula?
Yeah, but like, okay, is this to what degree are we doing this battle, right?
Okay,
Of course,
okay,
obviously.
let's say Rambo was part of an elite task force, right? Special forces. They go in during Vietnam. And he goes into a fucking village, right? That's
Okay.
been slaughtered.
Yeah.
These people have bites on their necks.
Mm.
These people have been slaughtered. So he goes in there, his whole crew, his platoon, his squadron is wiped out by this mysterious force that he didn't know while investigating this village. And now he's come face to face with Dracula. But he can also escape. He can also like maneuver through the village, maybe hide from him.
Okay.
Because he's witnessed a guy being killed from his squadron. He sees what's happening. He sees that there's some guy there, like annihilating all of his troop, right?
Yeah.
In Vietnam. Now it's Rambo versus Dracula, but Dracula still may not know John Rambo is there.
Okay, alright.
But they're
boy.
in this village that's been decimated.
I think Rambo makes a great fight, but I think Dracula takes
Do you think Dracula takes him? Now, what's the premise on that? That Rambo's too weak?
I think if Rambo gets one chance, he has one move to make.
That's true.
How far he plans it out and how well he crafts it, he's got one move. And if he does not make that move absolutely 100% perfect and get him over, it's done. He could do it. He could do it if he learns Dracula's weaknesses and stuff, whatever else, whether he's got sleep and finds out his lair.
He hasn't seen that, and that's true. He doesn't know, like, maybe stabbing in his heart works.
Then I think Dracula whoops his ass.
Do you think if Rambo knew the weaknesses of Dracula, that maybe he would have the advantage now?
Let's just say he knows that a stake to the heart.
He knows garlic works. He knows silver. He knows.
But you're talking about being trapped in a village after his people got killed. Do you have time to find garlic in this fucking town? I mean, craft a wooden stake, which wouldn't be too hard. Wouldn't be too hard. Break a branch off. You know what I'm saying?
And he probably has his knife. He has his guns with him.
Sure, guns don't mean shit to
Right,
Dracula.
no, that's how you know.
His knife don't mean shit.
He's not as fast as
And if
Dracula.
you're using a knife, you're already fucked because you're way too close.
So you think it might be like a double take?
I think Rambo, if he's going to take Dracula out, has to track him, has to lay low, act like he's dead, see what Dracula is, follow him.
He's been hired to hunt Dracula.
No, not even that. His squad gets taken out.
Okay.
He sees Dracula. He's able to dive underneath this fucking hut in a fucking briar bush somewhere where he can hide out and wait for Dracula to think that everyone's gone. Let's just say Dracula can't sense him, and then leave, and then somehow track him down to his lair. That's the only way Rambo takes him out.
Oh.
It's the only way.
Now, do you think that if Rambo was turned, that he would be one of the greatest vampires?
Yeah, I would think so. I think he'd be his top lieutenant there, yeah.
Okay, Jack Skellington from Nightmare Before Christmas
Alright.
versus Scarecrow from Batman. As in, who could scare who the worst?
Who could scare who the worst?
Mm-hmm.
Jack Skellington.
A
What do you
battle
think?
of scare tactics.
You gotta kind of know a little bit about Scarecrow.
Well, Scarecrow might be unable to fear, which may give him the advantage.
Because Jack Skellington is already dead.
But he is the Scare King, Jack Skellington.
Yeah. Annemarie, what do you think?
I think Jack Skellington.
I think that's solid.
You think so?
I think so.
In terms of scaring, now beating up, Jack Skellington's just a skeleton.
Right, because we previously talked about this and you said Scarecrow would win.
Is it a scare fest or a combat?
Well, see, combat I feel would be unnecessary with these two because they would rely on their...
One's mortal and one's not.
Well, one is mortal with the ability of scaring and
With poison.
and not being scared, though. I mean, the Scarecrow is a Scarecrow because few
Sure.
things fear him.
You're right.
Until, like, Batman, like, actually doses him. and
You're
he's
100%
like-
right. So,
But Jack Skellington's not going to be able to dose him. He's going to be using his own...
morphosis to try and scare her. So the Scarecrow cannot be scared, let's just say, by Jack Skellington. Jack Skellington cannot be dosed with this gas to be scared.
Right.
So this does come down to hand-to-hand combat.
Oh.
So it's not a scare contest.
No, it can't
I
be a
still
scare
think
contest.
Jack Skellington is stronger than Scarecrow. I mean, he's this fucking big, lanky guy. He's going to be able to...
He's made of bones.
He doesn't have any muscles.
But these bones can't be destroyed by a man, can they?
Sure they
Batman
can.
also has bones.
Let me take a sledgehammer to his fucking cranium.
To Jack Skellington, he would
Sure.
flip around you. You wouldn't even get a chance.
Let me just dislodge his head from his fucking neck vertebrae.
But he does that
like
to
that
himself
infant baby.
in the movie and puts it back on. Like, nothing hurts him.
What if you
He's, once
just
again, not
dismount?
really a fighter.
Look, man, that's like fighting a 9-year-old child with the strength of a 9-year-old child.